Mother, man.
This Lonnie Franklin, I ain't no Grim Reaper, Sleeper, whatever the fuck. I ain't done shit.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder Metal Mayhem!
All right.
What
Good
the
to
fuck
be
is
here.
up? It's been a minute.
It's Wednesday, Chris. I'm all confused,
Yeah,
man. We're
Tuesday.
doing it on Wednesday this week. I had a little scheduling conflict, but we
Definitely
are
different.
here at Horns High Studios for the Horns High Podcast Network and making it work and getting it done. Episode 152 tonight. It's going to be badass.
Shit, yeah, dude.
Now I got Joey and Chris and just this impromptu guy. Chris, you guys found him on the road and brought him over here.
He was just hitchhiking down the fucking road. We were on the way here.
Yeah,
we ran.
thanks for the ride. It was real nice.
Yeah, and
I
now
like
we're
being
forcing you at gunpoint to be on a podcast with us.
Fuck
No,
yeah.
this is
No.
Mason.
Yeah, we
He's
got
a-
Mason in here with us, dude. He's a
He's
homie.
a 666 club member.
Yes, he is.
So Mason,
Yes, I am. I like it.
You're not the first 666 clubber in here. We had our buddy Justin Morris in here.
Fucking
Michael's
right.
been in here.
Yep.
I was also
So-
in the season's beatings.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's how you got into the 666 Club as
Yes.
your season's
Fuck yeah,
beatings
dude.
prize. So very cool. Always good to
Yeah,
have
thanks
people
for coming
in
out,
here.
Mason. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and you guys all three survived full terror assault. Anxious to hear about
Oh,
that.
we got
That's
stories,
gonna be
bro.
cool.
We got stories.
We got
Yeah.
stories.
It's
That's
funny,
good.
fucking, we're talking like episode 152, and then fucking something popped up in my fucking timeline for the memories the other day for 3 years ago. Was like episode, I don't remember what it was, 26 or something, fucking early Murder Mill Man when I was on with you guys, but up in
Right.
your bedroom.
And we were
Yes.
still in the corner of Pete's bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's
fuck.
whenever he was still, remember he just called me Cashman outside
Yeah.
back then.
I
He's like-
still have you like that on my
Yeah,
phone.
that's hilarious.
Like when I'm doing a text to you
Yeah.
and I'm thinking Joey, I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's Cashman
Cashman
outside.
outside.
That's hilarious.
So
That's
it's funny
fucking
because when I'm typing in C, him and CK pull up, and
Yeah.
then I just change the H to an A, and
That
he's
is
the
right
first
there.
one that
That's
comes.
awesome.
Him and Casey's.
Right,
Got
right.
Casey's on speed dial,
I order
obviously.
pizza, man.
Duh.
That's a
Hell yeah.
necessary.
You're
Midwest,
not
baby.
from the Midwest if you
Yeah,
don't
you
have
don't need
Casey's
Casey's.
on your
Right,
fucking
exactly.
speed dial. So very cool. So this should be a fun one tonight. Let's see what shirts we got on. Chris, you got a good one over there.
I got my Gore Camp Cannibal cookout fucking jamboree shirt on, dude. It's a fucking great show. Fucking
Awesome.
love this shirt. I was gonna
Yeah.
wear a different shirt, but I got off work and went home and I had to rub one out and I kind of jizzed all over it. So I was like, I should
Oh
change
shit!
it.
Rubbed one out. Well, hey, that's
Hey man,
still cool.
It
Though.
happens.
Mason, what about you, dude?
I got my John Wayne Gacy Murder Machine clothing tie-dye shirt on.
Nice.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
What Joey did the
Cashman's
cool
artwork,
art for.
fuck yeah, Pogo.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
Murder
badass.
Machine
I like
clothing.
it.
Good
Yeah,
friends
fucking-
of the show.
Fucking
I
right,
was
dude.
at dinner the other night, and I got some weird looks when I was wearing it.
Oh,
You
I'm
always
sure.
do. You always
I'm sure.
do.
It's
I'm
kind of
sure.
funny, though. I didn't mind it.
That's all.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's okay. Tim from Low 12 used to refer to that as a look of disgust, and he used to be happy when he
About
got
it,
a look.
yeah.
Like he
Like,
was excited to tell
Fuck
me
it. It's like, bro, you should
what
see
the
look
old
on their
lady
face,
behind him with his dying fetus fucking shirt on
Fuck yeah, dude. He's just like,
had to say about that, you know. So
Don't give a shit.
anyway, Joey, what about you?
I got the postulated long sleeve on. I'm super confused today. The bottom half of my body, I got basketball shorts and flip flops. The top
You got
half, I got
long
long
sleeve.
sleeve because it's just.
It is a little
I
chilly,
woke up,
man.
it was
No.
chilly today, but it was
Yeah,
like not
it's
too
weird
chilly.
weather, dude. I
No,
wore
it's
dude,
beautiful, man. First day of fall, and
Yeah.
it's like right on cue.
When I got
man.
up to go to work this morning, I was like, I stepped outside to smoke a cigarette, and it was like, oh, it's chilly. So I did get a brand new Murder Machine clothing zip up hoodie
Nice.
with a skull on the back that I wore today, dude. So
Nice. I got my Murder Metal Mayhem one on the ready, man. I can't
yeah.
wait to
I
bust
was
that
wearing
out.
a hoodie 90% of it through at work.
yeah, what you got going on, Pete, over there?
I got my Cannibal Corpse shirt on, getting a little nasty tonight because we got a nasty one to talk about tonight.
yeah,
So
yeah.
It's a badass shirt.
pretty brutal shit. Yeah, I dig this shirt. Got it not too terribly long ago. So.
yeah.
All right, now
That new
last
logo, though.
Yeah, for sure. Last week, we had a good bonus episode. We unleashed the Patreon-only Al Capone,
Fuck yeah.
the original gangster for sure, and we did that one. We talked with Bob Weiss at Shaker Cigar Bar, and Bob is, of course, the owner now, but Chris...
Yeah, Al Capone used to own Shakers, but
That's
it wasn't-
right.
I don't think it was called Shakers, but
No.
back in the day. But that's where they killed hookers. and
That's right. That's
did all
right.
their
Some dead
speakeasy
hookers
and
going on there.
shit.
I've been so busy, I haven't noticed, but were some people listening to that one?
Yeah,
just
we
gave
hit
it a
about, we
re-listen the
just
other
passed
day.
900 to that
Hell yeah.
today, which
Fuck
is
yeah,
good. But it's a good story and
Yeah.
interesting with the Capone tie. And as part of his story you don't hear much of. You always hear about the Chicago, but we took it
Right.
to Milwaukee
Yeah.
because he was very present up there in Milwaukee. He did
Very
a lot
much
of
so.
business
Like
up
they're
there.
far away from each other.
Not at all. Not at all. So if you missed it, go check it out. It's it's not a numbered episode. It's a bonus, and so you can see that one we released last week. Now tonight we got a good one for you, Joey. You're the one that put this one on the list immediately when I first met you. Doing this.
Yeah.
You were just like, dude, we got to do the Grim
And I
Sleeper.
think because especially about that time was
it would
whenever
have been fairly new.
He got caught up
Right.
for it. So
He actually did his trial in 2016.
exactly, yeah.
So
So,
very
Just
close.
yeah,
That's fairly
recently.
recent.
Very,
Yeah,
so
very
that's
recent.
probably one of the
Yeah.
ones that was most prominent in the news when you guys first started doing this. So I was like, oh fuck yeah,
Yeah, no, it was a great call because he terrorized the people of South Central
Sleeper.
Los Angeles in the 80s and 90s. And it, like we just said, into the 2000s.
Fuck yeah.
Confirmed to have murdered at least 10 women and raped many more. But the body count is considered to be, by some, quite
From some
quite
bunch
higher.
of shit they got from his fucking house. Like, I can only
Right.
see it being.
I can't imagine he
higher.
didn't do it for 14 years. I
No.
just really
What's
can't.
crazy is it's so recent, and I haven't heard of this one yet.
Yeah, it
Right? Yeah,
is
you're
one I
coming
bet a
in
lot
to
of
this,
people
like,
won't know.
That
you know?
goes to show you, though, like, and now in this day and age, the way media is, like, something like that
Right.
can fly under the radar.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people are like, oh, whatever, this other shit's going on that's even crazier.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. That's a very, very good point. We've talked about that before. The weird cases that the gorilla killer would be another good one. Like, nobody knows who the fuck that is, but, we busted that one out, Chris, and that was brutal. I mean, he went cross country and then up into fucking Canada before he got
fucking
caught.
chairs with my teeth, man.
He was brutal. So all that vinegar, or what was it that he ate? Oil
Yeah, the
with
castor
everything.
oil or whatever. Yeah.
He soaked all his food in like vegetable oil just to eat it. Yeah.
It was a
And, like,
total
scooped
bar
it.
for
Total bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
God damn. Just fucking
Stand By Me
disgusting.
reference.
So how does the public not know about some dude called the Gorilla Killer, just like Grim Sleeper? I
Right.
think Grim Sleeper's a cool nickname,
Yeah.
for the media, but whatever the case may be, people like Mason and all of us really had no idea. But he
excited
kept
to
the
hear about it
pictures of the victims and bragged about it to his friends.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
dumping
Fucked up.
the bodies like right out in the open.
Kick him out the car, go, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, literally pull the car up, kick her out the door, and fucking drive off like they were literally trash. But he kept
Literally.
these pictures and bragged about it, which is fucked up.
And we'll talk all about that.
We are. So it's a crazy one. I'm anxious to do it. We got CK warming up, getting ready to throw down as always. He's going to be doing a band I don't know a whole lot about. I know who they are. Old School Attacker.
Yeah. I like Attack.
Yeah, they were old school. They did some shows with the band I used to play with way back when.
Hell yeah.
He'll educate us on those guys, and I know, who they are, but not
I don't
much
know that
more.
I do.
So
Honestly.
yeah, so always will be bestowed with knowledge by the great metal motherfucker, and he's going to do his
get it
thing.
in.
And he's got his new digs over there at the apartment. He's going to be probably Chris talking some shit. So
God
it's
damn
CK.
it. He's going to call us bitches again.
I hope that. I hope that. Now, speaking of bitches, we've got a killer
Ooh.
cage
Oh,
match
yeah, we
for the
do.
ages tonight. Chris, we got some listeners, though, we want to say thank you to.
Once again, we got Cody
Oh,
Durst.
fuck Cody Durst.
Yeah,
man.
Rebecca Boomsock always in there. And we
Yep.
got John Richardson. So thank y'all for the numbers. Fucking yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
very
never
cool.
on Facebook in time. Like every time
I know.
I see it, like I'm like, oh,
Rebecca is always on
They're
it.
always
Cody
on it
Durst
faster
has been
than I
on it
am.
lately, but we appreciate everybody. You guys are killer.
Stephanie's always like, God damn, how quick do I got to get on there?
I know.
right? Like,
That's
do I have to
funny.
get notifications every
Yeah,
time?
get 'em.
Exactly. We got a good matchup tonight, though, Joey.
Yeah, it's a pretty fucking classic one. We should have fun
Oh,
with
yeah.
this tonight. We're gonna go all the way to Australia and pick
Right.
up fucking Catherine Knight,
my
the
God.
fucking cannibal,
That's
fucking
fucking
Chris's
killer.
girl there.
But she's gonna go up against one of America's greatest. She's gonna go up
boy.
against the queen of the 419,
419.
Sugar Babe,
Oh,
fighting
no.
to the death.
Oh, no.
Sugar, man.
Sugar Babe going up against Catherine Knight. Good luck.
Oh,
Good
my
luck.
God.
We're gonna see because they'll have some objects and variable, of
Yeah.
course. But
So
It's
that'll
gonna be
make it
fucking
fun,
crazy.
and we'll do that in the Mayhem segment. So that should be a good time.
I mean, I'm sure glad we're gonna watch them fight, not fuck. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's a fucking great
Right.
the
I'd
truth,
rather watch
man.
fight than
I'd
fuck.
definitely
That's
rather watch
the
the fight
truth.
because I'm like, oh shit, fucking they're gonna be in a street fight. One of their titties gonna pop out.
Thanks to all you
Back
guys,
in
though,
alley,
listening
right?
to Murder Metal Mayhem. Keep seeing the numbers rolling in, about 2,800 this
Hell yeah.
last week. So that's
Hell
really
yeah,
cool.
That's awesome.
So Chris, Joey, Mason got a lot on our plate tonight. Going to be taking a little trip to sunny California, to see if we can
California.
avoid
Knows how to
getting
party.
shot and dumped in a South Central
Central
fucking
boy.
alley.
Let's get our murder on.
Fuck yeah.
Carcass.
Yeah, it's
New
the first-
Carcass,
That's
man.
the first I've heard the new Carcass. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same here.
That
That was
little
badass.
Really
Like,
wicked,
dope.
man. I
Definitely
love
gotta
that
check 'em out.
song too, and the title of it, Flesh Ripping Sonic Torment Limited.
Wait,
They
what?
have the best song titles. They're fucking crazy.
That sounds
But
brutal.
the new Carcass, man, Torn Arteries is the album. Holy shit. I got the CD yesterday, and I'm like, oh, I'll always love it if I can actually take the music from the CD and it sounds
Right. Way better.
so much better than the stuff I get on
streaming or
through
whatever,
streaming. And that's a good example of why you need to buy physical copies when you can. It helps
That
the
is
bands
true.
out
Yeah.
and the labels and everybody involved.
So
So
whenever Cashman's putting something out, we take a fucking road drive and could put the CD in. Right?
Exactly.
Gotta have the fucking car test.
yeah, and this album just thumps in my car. It's freaking real bassy, but not too much. It's the first one they've done that I'm aware of without the two guitars since quite some albums ago. So with the single guitar, the bass really comes out, and he's a really good bass player, and it's always been kind of buried in the mix because of the two guitar harmonies, like basically constant. And so now just hearing him with Bill Steer, it's fucking thick and heavy as hell. If you like the Heartwork or Necroticism era of Carcass, this shit to me is like that with a lot more balls.
See,
And
I
it's
feel bad
pretty
for my
fucking
neighbors right
badass.
now. I just got back from FTA, so I've been
Yeah.
jamming
Oh,
a
I'm
lot
sure.
of new CDs
Yeah,
inside my
I mean,
house.
it's a good thing. It's
So,
a good thing.
It's been nice. Windows open, jamming death metal.
Hell
I
yeah.
feel bad for my neighbors. Like they probably don't like me right now.
Right. Tonight we're going to be doing a case, Joey, that you mentioned from the very beginning. It's a good one.
Yep.
And as we said, I bet a lot of our listeners do not know about Mr.
Lonnie Franklin,
Yeah.
known as the Grim Sleeper.
That's right. Very interesting nickname. We're going to get into why, Chris, because
That is
that's
a
an
fucked up,
interesting
like-
question. Kind of an odd name, you know.
There's some controversy about who gave him that nickname too.
Right. That's true. That's true.
It's a crazy nickname.
It is, and he's known to have killed 10 and raped many more in Los Angeles from 1985 to 2007 or beyond. There was a long time of inactivity with him, which some say maybe he was not,
Just being
or
different.
some may speculate that, he just kept killing, because I don't know how he would stop for 14 years and then resume. That's not typical of a serial killer. But as for how many he got convicted of, we know at least 10, but we all think probably quite a
I
few
think
more.
I
agree. I agree. He was arrested in 2010 after multiple delays. As you mentioned, Joe, he goes on trial. It was pretty late, 2016, not that long ago. And so it is an extremely recent case. So we're going to talk about it and how he got away with doing what he did for more than 20 years in South Central Los Angeles. So, Joey, what was it about the Grim Sleeper that made you want to mention it to do it?
We were talking about it before we got on the air, but basically I think whenever you guys started doing the podcast and I was bringing up, stories that were interesting, that one at the time was in the fucking news.
Right.
Because he had just gotten found out because of the fucking the way he gets caught. We'll save it till later. The way he gets caught is pretty fucking unique.
hilarious.
Pretty fucking awesome.
It's controversial and unique, so we'll
Yes.
save that. But because of that, that gave it a little bit of fucking push in the fucking serial killer world.
Oh, yeah.
And so at that time, that was an obvious one to talk about. And yeah, he's been on the list for a long time.
Yeah,
Right.
for a real long time. And
Yeah.
deserves to be.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean,
like-
just brutal shit. Very, very nasty. Just a total psychopath.
Yeah, and
man.
until Cash, he was in the news and Cashman brought it up. I had no idea who he was. So when Cashman brought him up, I was just like,
Right.
I should check this guy out a little
Yeah.
bit. But holy
Pretty
fuck.
interesting case.
He's fucking intense, man. Mason, you said you didn't know shit
Yeah,
until
like-
we just started talking about
He
him.
got caught in 2016, right?
Right. The
I was
trial was
17 years
20.
old when he
Right.
got tried.
Yeah.
How did I not know about this? I'm all over
I
on social
know.
media at this point in time.
Right. Yeah, it is very odd. He kind of flies under the radar there.
Very
I
under the
honestly
radar.
didn't know anything either. But, after watching the documentary I watched, I was like, wow, we got to do this one. Plus, we've covered black serial killers before, like Kendall Francois, Wayne Williams, the DC Snipers. And it's not a common one for us, but we've covered them. I
Well,
mean,
as
they're
we'll
not
talk about,
common.
no, but
Yeah.
as we're going to get into at this time, there was actually a handful
A bunch
of
of
them
'em,
in
yeah.
that area that we're going to
Not a
talk about.
bunch,
Lonnie
but-
Franklin's stomping grounds.
pretty nasty, man. I mean, a whole group of them doing this.
Yeah, which I'll be the first to admit that every now and then, I'll get up fucking talking about this shit, and I'll get real confused on this. I'll get fucking Grim Sleeper, Golden State Killer.
Oh, yeah.
and fucking.
Wait, which one am I fucking
Yeah,
talking about,
wait,
man?
no,
Goddamn.
he was this one, no, he was that one.
Yeah,
but-
it's confusing, man.
Yeah.
These guys all literally were killing in each other's backyards
Right.
and
It's
pretty
literally
fucked up.
in their bed, literally
Yeah.
Yeah.
the same fucking
Right.
spot, dude.
And then you get Samuel Little, then he fucking comes. He's got fucking
Oh, for
That's a
sure.
crazy
highest body count.
highest body count,
Yeah,
and
we
he was
covered
out
him.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, if
so-
any of what we're going to talk about him, he ain't got the highest body count.
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's very true, Chris. Very true. So yeah, I think it's always interesting to talk about something that people that don't know a lot about it, and neither did any of us going into this to try to
Yeah.
kind of dig in. He was born Lonnie David Franklin Jr. in 1952. He grows up in South Central Los Angeles with two parents and a middle class upbringing.
Like his parents were good people.
Oh,
from
yeah.
what I've seen.
Yeah,
his dad
he
was
came up,
like a
you know-
longshoresman.
Yeah.
His mom was a teacher or something.
I believe so.
Like
Yeah,
he
very
fucking-
respectful family. He struggles though in school, and even though they get him a tutor, it doesn't seem to help. He's
I mean,
just
if you got
not,
the money to
you know,
get your kid a tutor, you're
Right.
doing pretty fucking
Exactly.
decent, dude.
Exactly.
Your lifestyle isn't bad.
And you're living
Exactly.
in South Central back then,
Right.
right.
There wasn't
Yeah.
too many great places there, I don't think.
No, I mean it was starting to go downhill
Right.
by then, but still, it wasn't what it is. Much later, it gets pretty, like a war zone down there now.
It's
It's
after
crazy.
they put the interstates through.
That's true. It's true. After, he's struggling, he winds up being able to graduate high school, though. He goes into the Army, and it was in the Army he's stationed in Germany. We covered another case where somebody was in Germany up to no good. I don't remember which one it was now, but
You
he
hear
was
that?
arrested.
You hear that
there.
about fucking some of these fucking
Oh,
people
and they don't fuck around in
that,
Germany.
that went
dude.
over to Germany or went over to Vietnam
Yeah.
and did some really fucked up like human atrocity shit. And then when
Oh,
they came
that's
back,
awful.
they're fucked up. Like we
Oh,
were
yeah.
talking. I remember we were talking about one more specific that you were trying to remember. I can't think of it, but I know that like Ramirez's uncle or cousin. Remember?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
When he
Well,
came
yeah,
back from the war, he was showing them all that shit. And
Right.
fucking-
That's true.
And yeah, sometimes the war is
Can really
the
fuck
snapping
with you,
point
man.
for some of these people.
Yeah, it's hard to say, man. But he's stationed in Germany. He winds up getting arrested with
Yeah.
2 other soldiers.
Yeah, because they found this.
Yeah.
when she was like what,
17.
17.
A German
Found this
girl.
German girl, 17, fucking basically forced her in the car.
Yep. And
Fucking
then
held
drove her
a
out in the
knife
middle
to
of
her
nowhere.
throat and just repeatedly violated her.
Right. Really fucked up, cut her up with a knife too,
Yeah.
but she survived.
No, because she was smart enough to fucking.
Right. Try to play along
play
with it.
along
She
with it.
gave him her number, Lonnie Franklin,
Yeah.
thinking, like,
Like,
hey,
hey,
call
whatever.
me,
Yeah.
like maybe we
hey,
can
that
get
was a good
together.
time.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do this again.
And
so,
so-
she fucking calls the cousin, like,
So
set
what
up a date.
happens?
Hey, set up a date with him, fucking will come. So
Yep.
they, the cops are waiting at the wherever she was supposed to meet him at, and like,
Right. Boom.
it was like, that's the guy. They're like,
Yeah.
fuck you,
Right.
and took him to jail, and he got what, 2 years in prison?
Yeah, I was surprised it
2.5
was just 2
years in
years,
prison.
but
Right.
that's what he got. And then the Army went ahead and gave him an honorable discharge, Joey, which blows my
I thought it
fucking
was like a
mind.
basic, just like I didn't think it was honorable.
I don't know. In one place I
It
looked,
wasn't
it
a
was.
dishonorable. I know
It
that.
wasn't dishonorable. I
Yeah.
know that. Maybe it was.
I don't know.
honorable.
I saw that it was an honorable discharge, which is just shocking. Even
Yeah.
an honorable under general. I can't remember how they word that. General. I have an honorable discharge, but I know there's different versions of it,
Right.
and then there's the
He
dishonorable.
didn't get a
which is
negative
bad.
discharge.
He
No,
did not.
No, it did not.
Which is
fucking-
fucking crazy.
Which
It
is
didn't
fucking
fuck
crazy.
up his fucking life how he wanted to
No,
live.
and I think that's what they said. Like in the court proceedings, they didn't want it to like completely screw him up for life for having that. So they definitely let him off easy, and that's fucked up.
Well, and
And
he kind of screwed up his life himself.
Of
he
course,
basically
yeah. He definitely
like what?
did.
Not basically, he did definitely.
right.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, Chris, one of the others who raped a 17-year-old took pictures of it while it was going on. Not too smart.
And that's what got him prompted into pictures, I think.
Yeah, and he gave Lonnie Franklin the idea to do that later, by not leaving a victim alive after.
Right.
That's
It's
what
like,
he
oh,
learned.
I'm gonna fucking rape. and
Lonnie had
torture.
probably mailed a couple of them back home for himself that he still had.
I bet you did. I mean, I have no doubts.
When he got caught, I bet they fucking found some of those. I don't. I mean, that's speculation.
Sure.
obviously,
That's thoughts, but yeah, he probably fucking some of the pictures they have could have been from Germany
but, yeah.
Right.
that like he just sent back.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing some really fucked up shit. He would get married after he got out of the Army. He has 2 children. He told people he was married before, but there's no record of it. But he's claiming that his first wife was a crackhead,
But there
and
was
she
crack
fucked him
wasn't even
over.
around until fucking like 81.
Right, so that
or
makes
something.
no sense because
Like,
there
how
was
do
no
you- how is
crack
your
in the
wife a
70s,
crackhead, dude?
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no crack.
So
Maybe she invented it and just kept it to herself, and she's just like,
Yeah, but
"Hey, yo,
that's
this is
probably
the
not
best way to
possible.
fucking do cocaine right here. Let's like make
Yeah.
some rocks, dude."
right,
And we're
right.
not telling anybody.
Exactly.
And as soon as she died, he's like, "I'm putting a patent on that shit."
Right.
Patent
So it is
crack.
very, very suspect that he even had that first wife. But his current wife is very religious and obviously looked the other way about his cheating ways because he's constantly spending money with prostitutes, hanging out with prostitutes. I mean, he's just a dirty motherfucker, man.
I mean,
Sounds like a fun time.
like some of the people said he was like really clean, fucking took care of his kids, whatever. But
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
know
just fucked
I
up.
think she had this thought in her head, like, there's something off about him, and I ain't getting divorced because I'm probably going to end up dead. Fucking.
Yeah, or she just, went
she
into
knew-
it thinking,
knew more
hey,
than-
that's how he is. And
Or she knew more and just didn't give a shit.
it's very possible, dude. It's really one of those you'll never know. But there were many that said, he was, called him a dirty old man. I mean, a lot of those girls they interviewed on some of those docs, that's what they said.
That's the thing with Lonnie Franklin, though, is whenever they started talking about people and, giving credit or, his credibility and shit, a lot of the girls, a lot of the prostitutes and the ones that he had dealings with, exactly like you said, Pete, they were calling him, disgusting, dirty old man.
Right.
But anybody that knew him just as Lonnie Franklin, that fucking dealt with him on like just a regular life basis, they spoke more highly of him and said he was apt to help people out.
Right.
And,
I'm gonna help you out because
right. So so
everything.
it's crazy. It's kind of like that duality of life deal.
It is, man, because you're right. A lot of his neighbors said, man, he was the first guy to help you out if you needed a hand. He was very generous
he was
guy,
fucking, Obviously, he knew how to work on cars from a young age and shit.
Right.
But the prostitutes obviously had a stigma of like, hey, if you're going to get in the car with that dude, you better be ready for it. You know?
Yeah. So, I mean, you have to wonder, did the wife know? And that, like Chris correctly points out, was there a lot more that was going on? And that's just a little bit that we know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, there probably is that.
And here he's getting ready, Chris, to fucking do his thing, man. 1985 is when it starts with the crime is just rampant in South Central. It's out of control.
Like I said, there's the whole crack epidemic.
Right.
Like it's fucking taking over all of.
It's like crack and the AIDS epidemic.
Yeah,
like
at the
both
same
of
time.
them.
No,
Yeah.
at the same
Yeah.
time, like for real.
Yeah, it's a real bad situation because, as Chris, you point out correctly, crack is introduced at that time. You got this high crime area anyway. You throw that in the mix, and then you got people prostituting themselves.
Yeah.
And that usually ends in a bad
Shit,
way.
I just did that 2
it's
seconds ago.
it's just just a recipe for fucking disaster, and this just hits
And it sucks
at the
because,
same
like,
time as all of that chaos going on. And I think that's maybe how he flew under the radar, as he was,
like we've had the discussions before, obviously, but like he's going after drug addicted prostitutes. Nobody cares about these people.
Most of
So
them
they're
were
not-
black.
they're not
There
He's
were a
pulling
few
the
white.
rage way. He's like, oh, fuck them. Nobody
Totally.
cares.
Yeah,
anyway.
nobody cares.
Exactly.
Like nobody's looking for them.
Right.
Like I could kill whoever the fuck I want right now and literally throw them out the door of my car on
Right.
the street and go away.
Yeah, and then there was the one where he was doing it in the church van. That's real nice. That's the one he gets busted for.
They were like, did you have access to a van? Oh, no, I didn't have access.
Yeah, that was his wife's church or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, it's fucked up. So
That's real fucked up.
yeah, it is. It's just a crazy story, and but he would prey upon these people who were just thought of as like inhuman, which is really fucked up. That
Right.
one thing
What
that
was
we're
it?
going
What'd
to
they
talk
say?
about.
Yeah. What'd they
Yeah,
call it?
NHI,
Yeah,
no human involved.
Yeah.
And that's how they referred to these cases of these dead
Well,
black drug addicts and or prostitutes that he was killing and literally just pushing out of his car in an alley and then driving off like fuck it. And
The thing
very
is, though,
blatant
like,
about it.
Everybody in that area at the time, though, like even still today, like don't fucking talk to the cops ever.
Right.
Yeah, that is true.
Like they're like you're a snitch.
Well,
and you're
yeah.
the worst person. If
Yeah.
you tell the cops you see anything.
Right.
Like don't talk to the cops.
Oh,
man.
exactly. And that's how, that kind of stuff does get, nobody's going to report him because that's not how they operate, So he's very vocal about it. Anyone who knew him, though, said, he fucking despised drug addicts and street people.
That's what I'm saying. Like Ridgway, like he could go out and kill these women and then go out to the bar later on with his fucking working buddies or whatever,
Right.
have some beers and be like, God, I hate these fucking dumb whores. And they'd be like,
It's
fuck
a
yeah,
joke.
bro.
Yeah, it's a joke. Yeah, yeah.
But in all reality, you're like cleaning the streets of them in your own mind and shit.
Yeah.
All right, he's just out there. He's literally out there hating and killing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I mean, it is seriously fucked up. And so, once he gets him into this car, then that's usually where it ends. It's amazing that there were at least 2 or 3 other black serial killers, Joey, going on here at the same time.
Yeah.
You pointed this out earlier. I mean, how fucking crazy is that, especially for the police,
Right.
when you just got like victims raining out of the fucking sky? I mean,
And that's, I mean,
lot of
we were
bodies.
talking about that earlier. Like some big names came out of that, but there were
Yeah.
also, besides that, there were other lesser known serial killers or people who just, you know, killed a few people, but they were actively doing it at the same time in the same area.
Right.
So the cops are just like getting overwhelmed with bodies at a time that there's a ton of other crime, violent crime going on too.
Yeah, not even just
Right.
these serial murders.
Right. So you're like, I mean,
There's like random murders.
that's
going
what
on.
sucks too, because then you're begging and picking like, okay, well, this one's more important than this one because this person lives in a home and this one's a prostitute, you know,
Right.
and that's where all that comes into effect. So
Right.
as you're getting more cases piled on the desk, more of them getting swept under, they're mostly going to be victims of the Lonnie Franklins and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
allowing him to get away with it a little bit easier.
Dude, and like
Yeah.
like we were talking about, sorry, I just like checked this shit out a little bit, but at the same time it's fucked up. They weren't even looking so much into those like they should have been, because that's when crack first came out and they were just looking for crack dealers.
Oh, yeah.
Like looking
Right.
for them.
right.
Like that motherfucker selling crack, they need to go to jail. Like, yeah, there's homicides going on everywhere. It's because of the crack is basically their things. So
Right.
that's how I feel about it.
No,
It's like,
that's
if
true.
You just like take care of the real business, like drugs are good. No, the drugs aren't good. Drugs aren't good, kids.
But they, you know, Chris, they're not putting a high
man.
priority
Okay.
on any of these women.
No, not
It's
at all. Like I
unfortunate.
said, they're to them they're less than human. Like
Yeah.
we said, no human involved, and they're just trying to buzz. They're trying to make money because there's a new drug on the street,
Right.
so they can take anybody in. Is how I feel about
Yeah, and
it.
politically it looks good for
Yeah.
the,
Right,
the
exactly.
mayor and everybody else. So
Like take care of
And-
that's how it
and
works.
This
you know.
is the 80s, and there's a big push with Reagan in office and all that. Say,
Say
no to drugs. I mean, that
exactly.
shit was fucking top order. Right
Without
there.
a doubt. That's a good point, Joey. So the police in LA have their hands full, obviously. They knew there's a killer out there that was murdering black prostitutes. But like we've talked about, you know, dozens of times, I mean, these crimes don't get that attention maybe that the white co-ed at the university would. That's just unfortunately the way the media works.
Yeah.
The murders were investigated, you know, but you're talking about a police force that's obviously completely flummoxed at what the fuck is going on
And
with
it's
all
like
these different
this big.
killers, because they could tell they weren't the same person the way he was killing them. So
Right.
they knew there was more than one, but how many? I mean, that would be fucked up, you know.
I mean, I saw that they had a fucking like their homicide detectives is like 80 for the entire LA area.
Right.
So that'd be like putting like the population of Hayworth where we're at in all of California.
Right.
Like what the fuck?
Right, exactly. So it's you know, it's just got to be maxing them the hell out trying to get this stuff done. They wind up you know, looking into eventually you know, cold cases, and those just don't really end up anywhere. No real motive here, no clues are left behind, and they're just kind of forgotten, unfortunately, and there's nobody screaming
DNA
for
was
them.
in its earliest infancy, so they weren't using that. Or
Yeah, they're
Exactly.
collecting but not using.
Right,
Yeah.
Right. So it would catch
Like,
up to
we
them,
can
though. But
fucking figure this
unfortunately, at this time, you guys are exactly right. Now, Joey, I did see that in 1989, Lonnie Franklin is busted and did some time for theft and assault and battery. Do you know how much time he got for that? I didn't see anything on
no,
that.
but they said that he got 2 charges of possession of stolen property in 93 and 2003.
Right. He did
a charge
multiple
of,
times in the joint.
Right. He got charged of misdemeanor assault in 99 and then one of misdemeanor battery in 97. So all those are in a fairly short period of time. So, I mean, whatever he was getting, he was in and out. He served time in prison for one of the stolen property charges, but, I mean, then he's arrested other times, so it's like hard to tell exactly how much he did. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
His first arrest, they said, was in 1969 when he was 16 for auto theft.
Yeah, auto theft. Yeah.
So like,
For real.
he had a record,
Right.
But I
And
think
he was known to fucking like steal cars.
yeah,
and
but
sell stolen
I think
cars.
like
Right.
where he was at and like fucking how he was coming up and in that area, he really wasn't considered that bad of a criminal. Like he's getting in some rough and tumble shit or some street shit, but I don't know. Like at that time, I think there was a lot of cars getting stolen. There was a lot of
Right.
fucking, so he probably was getting like, get fucking 90 days stay time here or whatever the fuck, really short periods of
you're not
time.
doing fucking years.
Because he
like
obviously racked up. I mean, they're talking about fucking 6-7 different charges within a 10-year period. Like,
Right.
that's a lot of times to get fucking noticed with the police and to go
Right.
through even probation periods during that time. Like,
especially if you're still on probation after you get out.
Yeah,
like
so-
if you violate, you're going back.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're
So-
going back for a long time.
So it's just amazing, he just winds up kind of, walking between the raindrops, doing a little bit of
It's
time,
so
but nothing
fucked
too
up how
crazy.
smooth he's walked through all these years.
Yeah,
Like
and-
how the fuck? Man?
I saw there was a killer of this group of killers. Now we're talking about one, Lonnie Franklin, but this is a different one. At the same time, the South Side Slayer. That's a good nickname, that's for sure.
yeah.
One who they believed was responsible for 13 murders, women that were murdered, stabbed, or strangled from 83 to 85. So that's quite a few in a couple years.
That fucking the strawberry murder. Like that's how the cops called him too. Was the
Yeah, strawberry
Because
murders.
apparently,
Yeah.
like strawberry was a slang term for a prostitute.
It was a woman that prostituted herself, but for drugs.
Oh,
They call them strawberries.
for the drugs. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
so strawberries.
Like, I
so
did
that was
crack.
like a slang
I'll
thing.
suck your dick.
So the strawberry murders.
I got these cheeseburgers.
Going on here. These guys were, arrested, tried, and sentenced to death for some of the murders, but the cops were doing what they could with 2,000 to 2,500 murders a year in L.A. I mean, holy shit.
that's a lot of fucking.
That's a lot of murder, man. So that is
lot
fucking
of
brutal.
murder.
I mean, Mason, I don't know if you get much more brutal than that for
When's
a
the
number
last
of
time you
people a
seen
year.
Somebody murdered.
Probably 1998,
All right.
the year before I was born.
All right, cool. We'll go with that.
The cops are getting a lot of heat for all this murdering going on, and people in South Central are being very vocal about it. They're calling press conferences. They're asking the public for help. The problem is in neighborhoods like that, like you said, Chris, they don't trust the cops. So
Nobody's
that's
fucking
not going to
talking.
cut out.
And also, the public doesn't care. And then there's this one point, I can't remember her name, but this white girl gets killed in a prominent neighborhood somewhere.
Right.
Media's everywhere. So the
Right.
fucking city's just like South Central's just like, no, fuck that. What the fuck, dude? There's all this murder going on here.
Right.
One person media sensation. Fuck that.
Right.
Which I understand. Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, no, totally. And they're just of the mind of we're just going to take care of this shit ourselves. Like we're going to self-govern ourselves. So stay the fuck out.
Basically.
And that's why it's like the fucking, Wild West for sure. But you got, neighborhoods like that. I mean, it's just, I don't know what you do. I mean, if you
But
put more cops on it,
That's how they brought down Ramirez, though.
True.
Like, the neighborhood's like, oh, well, okay, we're on the lookout for this dude. We see him. We, as a neighborhood, going to come together and take this dude down there, beat him
And that's
with
what
pipes.
they did.
Right.
And Ramirez was working the same time, dude.
Yeah.
And that, that's the other thing
he
is not
basically
only
got
do you
caught.
get this group, but you got Ramirez kind
Yeah.
of on the periphery of
He
this.
basically had just gotten caught, so that was like fucking huge shit going on with the
Right.
media, and then this shit comes fucking
Right
barreling
after
right
it.
afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the timing of this is just unbelievable. And Chris, it's kind of this double-edged sword. They don't trust the cops, but they want the
shit.
cops to solve the murders. So it's like, okay,
Casper
what do you
said,
want us to
they're
do?
pretty much like coming together. I don't know if they were coming together. Nobody wanted to talk to nobody. Like, I ain't snitching.
Right.
I ain't doing a goddamn thing about it. I'm going to stay safe for my family. I'm not. I mean, I don't know, man. This shit's fucked up.
Yeah,
And,
it is.
And his the crimes that people knew about, because we'll go with saying that, you know, there was the periods of time between his killings that they thought.
Right.
If you got somebody that's killing like that, for whatever reason, people aren't going to be as scared of that as a fucking fully active spree killer that's going out like Ramirez did, or
Right.
Richard Chase or something like that, you know, where you're like, every night you're like, holy shit, David
Is he gonna run
Berkowitz.
into my- Yeah, because
That keeps the city on edge and in fear. This right here is like, oh, this dude, this was linked to a
might
homicide
pop
10
up.
years ago or whatever. They're like,
yeah,
oh,
he might
well.
pop up
Right.
here. He might pop up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and where he was doing his crimes, you know, most people don't live there, so they're
Right.
just like, I don't care, which is fucked up. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's kind of how it goes. And Joey, you bring up Ramirez. I mean, you got the police response there, and there was a lot of people saying, "Hey, you know, you didn't respond to that, you
Right.
know, the same way," and it's kind of what we've all been, you know, somewhat talking about. It's amazing that Lonnie was able to get a job as a mechanic for the LA Police Department. But again, he got that
Garage
honorable
attendant and
discharge.
everything.
So
They didn't fuck with him.
later, he gets on at the LA Sanitation Department as a garbage man. He's making a little bit more money, I guess. And he was known to play scams on insurance claims and would eventually get an early medical retirement before he was 40 years old. So he's doing some mechanic work on the side, but he's also, you know, stealing and selling and stolen merchandise out of his house. He's also paying others to like burn cars down and like file these insurance claims. And he's involved in a lot of
That
fucking
probably made it
scams.
awkward for when he got arrested by the police that he worked for.
Yeah, I mean, he is not, Mason, at all like being quiet about anything. I mean, he is like
It
out
seems
on
like
the...
he's very, very open about it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he's so like friendly that when Google Maps shot the still of his house on Google Maps, he's standing out there talking to somebody on the street.
Yeah.
So like he
That's
was like
funny.
always there. They said like at the edge of his driveway, people walking by, talking. Very friendly guy. I mean, that's the whole weird. Like we've talked before, Joey Gacy would be the, you know, really good example of that. Like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
Love to have a beer and talk about the Bears. And at the same time, he is a sadistic fucking, you know,
He'd also love to
sadist
have your
that
kid
murders,
over.
you know. It's fucked up. It really is. Now, I heard when his son Chris was in high school, Lonnie was even hitting on his girlfriend. She's interviewed actually in the documentary I watched.
He'd be fucking standing outside the door listening to him and his,
And shit. That's
like they're in
fucked
high
up.
school and listen to his kid and his daughter
Like,
banging
I'm going to let
Yeah.
you bang her, but I'm going to listen to that pussy.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
listen to that.
That's just
fucking
fucked up.
weird.
It
Dude,
is
how
really
fucked up
weird,
is that?
man.
Dude, this is your kid in high school. I'm probably like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Exactly.
Right.
Not here.
You don't bring none of them hoes over unless I hit it first.
Yeah.
And then she would be one that would call him a dirty old man, talked about, you know, his panty collection, and he had like a bunch of fuck books in the bathroom,
Dude,
you
like
know, by
all
the
of-
toilet.
like,
yeah.
like he's got a whole panty collection.
Yeah, and was showing people like he was like, hey, you know, check this out, you know.
It's not like he's like Leonard Lake with his fucking goddamn
Totally,
like,
dude.
showing
Was he
the
like
pictures
hanging
to
his
everybody.
panty collection on the wall?
Nah, that'd be fucking great.
No, I don't think so, but he was
I'm sure
doing
he had them all
everything
laid
but
out
that.
on his bed at some point.
Oh, you
Oh,
know,
I guarantee that.
rolling
Just
around
flopped on
in
his
it.
bed. Ah.
So yeah, he is definitely, you know, a fucking strange one. You know, women would do lots of kinky shit,
dude.
sticking screwdrivers in their ass. I mean,
No,
like
they
really
didn't like
fucked
that.
up.
They're like,
the-
fuck no. And he'd
No.
get fucking pissed off about it.
right.
They get
Like,
fucked with a 40 ounce of OE, though.
Yeah, you can't. You put that fucking 40 ounce in your fucking hole. You're a champion.
Yeah, I mean, he did a lot of really degrading stuff,
Yeah.
and obviously it's fucked up.
Yeah, you're definitely
Chris,
a champion.
it's amazing though that he tells people how much he hated crack whores,
Oh,
but he sure liked paying them for sex. And I wonder, you know, if he killed them because he was ashamed of himself
I
for
don't-
doing that. I don't know.
I don't
Was he
know,
like
man.
Green River,
Did
where he was trying to like eradicate?
Oh, I think
the
he's
world of the
100%
prostitutes?
like Green River to like that, but I think he just liked to fucking kill, like for real.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna kill you. I ain't got to worry about you.
Right,
Nobody worries about you. That was his thoughts.
right.
Like,
Because he learned in the army, don't leave any witnesses behind. So,
right? It's like,
it's
I'm
definitely
gonna do what I want to you, and then I'm gonna murder you.
Yeah, I feel like with his demeanor when he got caught, it shows like he was a little more heartless about it, and like
Oh,
he
yeah.
probably really enjoyed doing what he's doing. Where
Right.
someone like Dahmer is like a little more quick to open up and try to understand why he was so
yeah.
fucked
Why
up.
am I like
Right.
this?
Yeah, like he was
He's just
confused.
like-
This dude's like, no, fuck these bitches, and fuck
Yeah.
Don't give a shit.
No,
This
he
is
was set in his
how I
ways,
am.
man. He knew what he wanted to do. The police in Los Angeles and Los Angeles County would establish the Southside Slayer Task Force to put an end to all the murders. They offer a $25,000 reward at first. Having a hard time getting anybody to fucking still, even Chris, with 25 grand on the line. Nobody's
wonder if,
coming
Because
forward.
nobody talks.
I know.
I
it's
wonder if
amazing.
in L.A.
Stitches get
whenever they
stitches.
fucking
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder whenever they set up that task force if everybody from like LA was like Southside Slayer Task Force.
Probably. One of Lonnie's victims that got away described the orange Ford Pinto that he drove, describing the white interior and the fine detail of it. And so they really could have
Yeah,
had a
there's like
very
this fucking
unique
Swedish-
vehicle to find in South Central LA
Yeah.
that they could have easily
Like
figured out
like,
it was
how many
him.
are there?
Ex-
One.
Right.
Which I think later on,
One.
like they proved that some of the fibers on some of the victims were from
They
the
did.
inside of that car.
They did.
So
Yes.
find
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's like a very unique car that should have been pretty easy to find in South Central. But since she was a drug addict and street person,
They didn't believe her.
they
ass.
didn't believe her or didn't
They're
give
like,
it much
whatever.
credence. They're
But
like,
wouldn't
whatever.
you think that if you fucking, you're like, I mean, that car is so descriptive. Wouldn't you think, though, that if you're a cop and this woman told you this, that happened, you don't believe her, but you're cruising, you see that exact, like,
Yeah, because he's driving
hold
it
on,
all
dude.
over the
What
fucking place,
fuck? That's exactly, like, she
Right.
straight up described it as like said, it looks like a fucking Hot Wheels car.
Right. It did. Yeah.
Like, for real, like,
Right. Kind of an odd car for a guy like that
yeah,
to be driving.
there's
you know?
one. If you see that, you're like, oh shit, maybe that guy did do that.
Right? Yeah, it's fucked up. But by 1987, the task force is over. They're not getting any leads, and they believe there could be as many as 4 serial killers going on at the same time. But the MO is so different, they know it's more than one, Chris. They're just like, they don't know how many, but there are all
Could
these
you
different ways
imagine,
these
like-
girls are ending up dead.
Could you imagine in Bloomington if there were 4 serial killers just in Bloomington?
No, it's fucking unbelievable,
That'd
man.
be
Yeah, I
fucking
mean, it's
wild.
crazy.
Like,
The Grim
Holy
Sleeper
fuck.
would have his unique signature, though, often killing them with a 25 caliber handgun in his car in
Yeah,
that
like,
white
shoot
interior
him in the
car
How is
at
it still
close
white?
range. It was white.
Yeah, how is it still white?
I don't know, man. Unless it's vinyl and he can clean it.
They're
I
like,
don't know.
right.
He's like telling them what guns he has, and they're like, "Oh, what about that 25 in your closet? Oh,
Right.
oh, 25.
yeah, yeah.
25? Did they make a
Oh
25?
shit! So it amazes me that it is
the
a white
white interior,
interior
like, what the
car. And he's
fuck,
like
dude?
shooting him at close range in the tits.
Yeah,
Pretty
like,
fucked
right
up.
in the chest, dude.
Yeah.
Like, don't give a shit. And
No.
then boots him out. Like, fuck you.
And yeah, and
fucked
he
up.
just
He's
fucking
stupid.
pulls up in the alley, fucking kicks him out of the fucking car, and fucking drives away. I mean, it's literally that brutal. And there was one with the napkin over her face that said AIDS on it. So
Which I never understood.
yeah, kind of weird with
I
that.
mean, like Cashman said, though, it was the crack and the AIDS pandemic. Like,
Yeah, he probably
Right.
thought she
Epidemic,
had
like-
it, or
right.
he's just like,
Who
fuck
knows,
this
man?
yeah.
Now, Joey, the way Lonnie is discarding them, pretty much, how he feels about them, which is just fucking garbage, man.
Yeah, and I mean, fucking,
That's fucked up.
he never came out and fucking ever admitted that he did
Never.
anything in
Right.
the face of every kind of fucking evidence that they fucking had piled on him. He fucking calmly told them he didn't do shit.
Right.
He told the fucking victims, the fucking one that fucking survived to her face, "You don't know me."
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Right.
he had no fucking
remorse,
right? He had
no
zero sense of
nothing.
remorse or fucking care about any of this shit. He was probably so fucking stoked that he made it to fucking 70
Right.
before fucking he gets
Getting
caught.
caught.
He's like,
Right.
fuck, I don't care now. I already lived my whole life. So
Right.
he was kind of a fucking jerk like that. So
Yeah, he really was, man. Very smug about the whole
Yeah.
fucking thing. As the years went on, a series of men were arrested for these murders. Lewis Crane, found guilty of at least 2 slayings, and then there was Michael Hughes, Daniel Lee Siebert, and Chester Turner, who killed 10. Ivan Hill, known as the 60 freeway killer, murdered 9. I mean, Chris,
those are big
God
numbers.
damn,
Yeah,
I mean,
those
this is
Those are
just
big
brutal.
numbers, yeah.
Is it
In one
sound
area,
people
I
need
mean,
to
that's just
actually
fucking
put
nuts.
Some work into maybe.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine it, Mason, if you were a detective trying to figure this out with 4 serial killers going on at the same time
Right,
on the
and-
heels of Richard Ramirez?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right, and like, are they all leaving a trademark? Like, you got to figure
Yeah.
that out because, like, that's difficult work right there. Like,
that's what I'm
I'd be
saying. So, I mean,
stressed
is these guys were just maxed the fuck out with what was
Yeah.
going on. No matter how many cops you put on it, that's just crazy.
And I think, if the timeline shows correct, this is all inner city. Then you got the cops worried about the fucking interstate killers,
Right.
Randy Kraft and
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
William Bond. And like, I'm pretty
Right,
sure those
yeah.
were all around then
That's
too.
true, too.
They were. I'm
That's
pretty
true,
sure.
too. So, yeah, you got a lot of killing going on in California
God
at that
damn,
time.
I've
Pretty
never
brutal,
been to
man.
California.
California's a brutal fucking place.
It's insane, man. And that's what enabled him to get that nickname in the media, Chris, the
fucked.
Grim Sleeper, because
it took
there's
that
such this long cooling off period.
Hashtag took a hiatus.
Right.
Hashtag.
And I think you and I kind of agree that that's probably not really that's how it went. I think
No.
I think he did continue to kill, but he just kept it more on the down low, got smarter, and maybe spaced them out a little bit more, kept it a little more hush hush.
They
But
sure found a lot of probable trophies.
they sure did.
They
They
definitely
sure
found
did.
that,
There were
dude.
quite a few
Like,
other bodies
yeah.
that could have very well been
Not
attributed
even bodies, just
to
like
him.
footage,
But they
like
had spent so
video.
much money on it, they were just like, we just wanted to get
Right.
it over with. But it's fucking insane how these serial killers were doing this all at the same time. But, he kept on killing, and many of the Jane Does, like you said, were very, very possibly linked to him too.
Yeah.
So it would be May of 2007 that some detectives in LA begin to look at some of the cold cases and hoping to use some DNA to nail this guy. The reward now is up to $500,000, Chris. So
yeah.
that's a lot of money.
I mean, it's not a little bit.
Nope.
If somebody
And
gave
still,
me fucking $500,000 right now, I'd be like, see, I'm out.
I wouldn't quit my job. But
I'd quit my
would-
job.
America's
Fuck
Most
you.
Wanted
Yeah, you're
does a
right.
story on the South Central murders. So they believe, they're connected with the 25 caliber handgun at close range. And Lonnie Franklin left a lot of DNA behind at a time when
fucking,
they
like-
were collecting it, but not doing anything
Yeah, they
with it.
just like, we can figure it out. But like, he just randomly be like licking their titties, whether dead or alive.
He said,
or
fucking,
not.
Yeah.
he said he was into watching like the true crime shows and all that shit,
Right.
Forensic Files, and all that. It's like, you got to be sitting there if you're him, like, whew, they have a lot of stuff sitting in evidence
Right,
that
right.
can connect me to a lot of
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
If
Exactly,
he's just
so
sitting there
I
watching
feel
it
like
later in life, he's
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck.
Like, man,
Did you see the thing with one of his buddies or something said something about, he loved sucking on those titties.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was how they got
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of the
Saliva.
DNA was the saliva around the tits. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Which is
fucked
fucked up, man. Really fucked up.
I'm a tit guy.
Well, I don't blame them.
So, I mean, yeah,
Right?
that's
Like,
just,
shit, I like titties.
that's
I
fucked
do
up.
too.
Hooters.
Titties and beer.
Some state of California, though, Chris, passes a law to allow him to collect DNA from
Yeah,
felons.
basically,
What
like
was the
they
deal
got
with that?
So, his son,
Right?
whose name
Chris.
happens to be
Chris.
Damn it, Chris.
I know, right? Like, fucking, so he gets a fucking weapons charge, felony weapons charge.
I think
it
that's
was.
what it was.
And so they got his DNA and they run it through their files. This is like 2000. What was it?
It was like 2007.
2000 fucking.
I can't remember.
He
Well,
got
it
caught
was
in
later
16.
than that.
He got caught in 16. Yeah, so like 15 or 16, whatever. They ran it through and found him. So he goes to this pizza party and these cops are watching him undercover, and he doesn't eat all his goddamn food.
Right?
Like, for real. He like throws some
The
They-
pizza
well,
crust. That
Well,
thinks
and
they're
they're like, oh, you want to get some pizza? And like, they're fucking all stoked about it and shit.
Right.
And so that's their whole thing. They're like, oh, fucking, this was so easy. This guy's going to eat this. We're going to end up with fucking
Right.
the DNA on the saliva.
And
Yeah.
that's what they did.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how they fucking did it, man. But that's crazy because it would be from the son that they would link that it wasn't him, but it was
Right.
a familial DNA.
Which that came out later, like, as a point for the defense to argue, like, you
Right.
guys got that in a fucking unconstitutional way, and they had to make laws, you know, and they had to fucking verify exactly how all that went on, basically because of this case. But no, it was early on something they pulled, and
And it worked.
it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but like Chris said, it was a little controversial. But when you have the son now into the system, and because he almost got tested a few times, but he kind of squirreled out of some technicalities where he didn't have to give his DNA, because there was like two versions of that law that were like for periods of time were
You
valid.
talking about his son?
No, for him.
For Lonnie.
While he was in,
All right.
there were a couple of times based on his charges, he would have had to do it, but it got turned down in the court.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Eventually it passed, but he was out of it. Now the son, boom, he gets it. So it's kind of like that karma shit, you know, like he winds up, the cops figure out it's a family member, either a dad or an uncle maybe, and sure enough, it's his dad, and
over
so
a
that's how
slice
it.
of motherfucking pizza. Man.
Yeah, and you know, you were talking, Chris, about how tight they were in those neighborhoods, and I saw an interview with the son that says, like, to this day,
People think I'm
they
a snitch.
fucking hate him because they think he snitched. And
Because
it's like,
bro,
they
took
had
my
his DNA, like, it
They
wasn't
matched
like-
it. I didn't like come out and be like, oh
right,
yeah, get him.
yeah, check my DNA.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he
That's the
had
way-
to. It was just the law
Like,
at that
you
time.
told on your daddy, you cold blooded.
Yeah, that exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's fucked up, but that's how they feel. He said
Yeah.
still to this day, but he lives in the house. He lives in the dad's house. That same house. And was that his house when he was a kid too?
I don't know.
I think it was, because I think at one time he either bought that house or they moved into it. But nonetheless, he was in that same neighborhood he grew up in, and now the son is in the
Yeah.
same house where Lonnie got caught. So
You'd think after all this fucking interview shit, you get some money, get the fuck
yeah,
out
get the
hood.
fuck out of
Right.
there. But some witnesses now at that dollar amount are coming forward. A 911 call giving out the license plate of a van seen dumping a body in an alley.
Like, oh, this one time I saw a body being dumped. Well, I'll tell
Right.
you about it now.
Yeah, a church van with
Yeah.
this license plate, and they trace it to the church where Lonnie's wife is a church member, and so she had been using the van to do some things, and so Lonnie thought, well, why not? I
I
can
should
use
do
it too.
Why would you not have a fucking rape kill van? I
Right.
mean, that's my goal in life. As soon as I get my license back, I'm getting a rape kill van.
Oh, for God's sakes. But he's got a guy, they interviewed him, that cleaned the van on multiple occasions and said there was one time he thought it was oil. But it cleaned up real easy, so maybe it was blood. Dude, really?
There's a
so
difference.
I work on
more
cars
than once.
for a living, so I know what oil's like, and I bust my hands frequently.
Right.
I know how easy it is to wash off blood.
Oil's not so easy.
Yeah, oil's
No,
not real easy. My
not
hands
at
are
all.
stained.
Right, for sure, dude. So yeah, that's kind of silly. But you know, that's the shit that he's pulling, man. He's the girl that was dating his son in that interview said that she had to get in the glove box for something for her husband needed, like the insurance
Like
card.
crawl inside the glove box.
No,
Oh,
just
shit.
opened it.
Oh, okay.
And
You said
inside
get
was a
inside.
pair of silk panties and a bunch of snapshots of naked women in the glove box of the church van. So
I
even when
did
he's
see
driving
that.
the
And some of
church
them
van,
weren't
he's
even
got
good.
to have a few of his, top ladies of the week or whatever. However he,
Dude's fucking
comes
retarded.
up with the top
How
three,
fucking Raider was too, I'm sure.
right?
I have no doubt
Yeah.
that's the way Raider
Yeah,
was. He's
drove
got
around
fucking-
with something.
Probably.
It's fucking crazy.
Write his BTK notes in the church fucking basements and shit.
You know he
Yeah,
was.
Fucking
exactly.
creepy as fuck.
He's like
That is
on the
creepy
church
as fuck.
computer when he's
Yeah.
asking if I can use this floppy disk. Like,
Yeah. So this dude is out of control, literally not giving a fuck. The police wind up following Lonnie Franklin to get his DNA, like you said, Chris, from the pizza. He's going to argue it in court, though, that they didn't have consent. That got shot down. Then July 2010, the cops arrest him and charge him with 10 counts of murder and 1 attempted murder. And some believe, like we said, he could have killed many more. There was one I saw that suggested it could have
dude.
been over 100.
dude, there was one that was they linking to him
Oh, to a guy that got
dude,
killed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I did
that-
see that.
something steel. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I
but
can't
yeah.
remember.
But nobody knows why. But the ballistics looked like it was him, and
Wow.
it could have been like he talked shit,
Yeah.
walked
Or a
up on
drug
something,
deal.
Right.
or
Because he had to get
he
drugs
said something like,
for
"Oh, I
the
know what
girls.
you're doing." He's like, "Well, fuck you, you're dead too."
Right.
Well, if you know somebody's killing some people like that, why would you walk up to him? I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Why
The
get
next
from them?
one dead.
I know what you
Exactly.
did this sober.
Yeah, that exactly.
So it all gets shot down. July 2010, they charge him for the 10 counts. And who knows how many of them he really killed. The house is a mess. He did not let her, the wife, in the garage or the backyard. So that was like his domain.
That was
and-
like Raider too. He's
That's
like,
like,
stay
yeah,
out of the fucking
stay
Yeah,
out.
that's
No,
right.
that's straight
And
up Raider
Brudos with the
Brudos as
garage.
well.
I know
Yeah.
that
And
ladies
the shed.
listen to a lot of true crime shit. So any ladies listening,
Yeah, don't
don't
put
be
up
with
with
a
that
dude that's
bullshit.
just like, hey, don't go in this spot. Like,
Right.
You got to know
You're
what's
not
in that
allowed
spot.
here.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to know.
If they
That's
say
not
don't
good.
go in there,
Yeah.
definitely go in there.
Yeah,
Right,
I think
exactly.
that's a good
And
call.
bring
That's
like 10
creepy,
people with
man.
you as you check it out.
Right.
That's
And
creepy
some
as shit.
bats.
So
To hit up my brother, he's got swords.
That's true.
yeah, I mean this is a fucked up situation. But these guys slept in separate bedrooms. The wife completely separate from him. They were almost never seen together. The wife would leave for days at a time. The German girl, though, that he raped in the 70s,
Yeah, they flew
found
her
out
in.
about this, flew to the U.S.
Like, what was it?
to testify.
40 years later?
Something like that. Yeah.
Like, comes back to testify. Now, this dude did this to me.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's pretty
fucking
awesome. man.
Badass. Like,
good
come
for
on
her,
with it.
man.
Like,
That's
help
really
to
cool.
Get him convicted. Like, no, I'm traveling halfway around the world.
Right.
That way, I can
That's
fucking
powerful.
tell you what he did to me.
Right.
Now, all these other young ladies and women are dead.
Right, because
Fuck
of
him.
that. Yeah, they should have never left him out or let him out. Joey, it's not hard to convict this guy with the DNA, the witnesses, and over 1,000 photos he had of the women. Some obviously dead in the pictures. There's even hundreds of hours of video he took of them. Not very smart. But how much time does he wind up getting? for
He
the
gets
Grim
convicted
Sleeper?
of the 10 homicides, all 10 he's convicted, and he ends up getting life in prison, which in California
Right,
basically means that he's going to die in the
right.
jail
he's
cell.
definitely
He's
gonna
not
die
going to
in there,
probably
yeah.
get fucking killed.
No. But he got the death penalty.
He did get the
though.
death penalty, yeah. And I mean, he's like we said, he fucking made it a long time in his life. He was an old man anyhow.
Right.
And fucking, so for him to go into fucking somewhere where they're going to take care of him,
Right.
I don't even know if he's necessarily that pissed off about it. Plus,
He's
he's got
like, yeah, whatever. I got.
even though he doesn't admit to it, like he knows he has notoriety. So
Oh yeah,
He
big
still's
time.
got a hot in a cot.
yeah,
Big time.
You're right.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
He fucking. He loved that shit.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you think, Chris, that I mean, it seems like we both agree, and Joey, you too, that he was still killing during
I mean,
that 14
I would
years?
imagine something. Yeah,
He was.
Yeah.
He was
From what
doing
I've heard,
something.
I believe he probably did.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah, I
can't
would think so
imagine him
too,
just
yeah.
stopping.
Yeah.
he
Chris,
wasn't.
that's not-
He wasn't somebody that I saw that like he had a close call with one of them, so he might have got scared off for a while because of that.
Right.
Like I don't think
The
he fucking
dude that
cared,
they
man.
supposedly killed maybe but would have been the one first call.
Yeah.
Or first close call, but I don't know. I think he fucking still killed.
Yeah.
And I'm not even fucking 1,000% sure, you know, just because some things I was reading into about him, that he did everything alone at all times.
Right.
Like, I think there were a few cases that were group efforts with some other guys and stuff. So
It's very possible.
I mean,
man.
after the fucking Germany thing,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
think that's going to
true.
go away.
Right.
Like,
That's a good point,
it's
dude.
like, oh, I got these close friends that I show all these pictures to anyway.
Yeah.
You don't think they
I mean,
want to be a part of that?
there's a community that he was definitely obviously sharing all that shit, the panties and the pictures.
Right,
and-
exactly.
What I've always wondered is, since all these killers are going on at the same time in California, some of them might have actually teamed up.
Oh,
You know what I
very
mean?
possible,
Very
man.
possible.
I have
Oh,
no
yeah,
doubts.
that's a
I have
good
no
point,
doubts
man.
about that.
So it
No, I
could have
think
been
that's
another
true.
killer helping them getting their
Yeah.
go of it too.
It would be a fascinating study if they could really timeline those
Yeah.
out and see how close were these going on, and were there,
They're like, hey, I'm going to
like
do...
you said, this guy and this guy killing this victim, or
But you
these
get
three
somebody to
guys,
get
you know.
like actual.
Yeah.
You get so many indiscrepancies because even as close a case as Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole, a lot of shit that they claim
Tons
that they
of-
did together,
right.
they fucking proved that there was
It's
no way that
never-
they could
yeah, it
Right.
never
have done it
happened,
together.
exactly. yeah.
Right, right. So it's hard to sometimes trust what these guys are
Right.
telling you.
Yeah.
4 years, though, into his sentence, he's at San Quentin, March 2020. Lonnie Franklin found unresponsive in his cell. Chris, goddamn, only did 4 years.
Right.
I mean,
damn, that fucking
he lived his
sucks.
life. Never fucking talk shit about nothing. He's just like, this is my, like you guys said, like, he was just wanted that 3 hots in a cot. Like,
Yeah.
my life's
And
in
he
it
denied
anyway.
everything. I mean, he never admitted to a
Never-
fucking thing. So
Never admitted it. A single goddamn thing. And when the fucking, when the families were doing their victim impact shit,
right,
like still just like doesn't give a fuck.
right,
So
yeah,
he's a terrible person.
pretty
I
remorseless.
think when
man.
you have that lack of emotion, and you're denying that you did something, you totally did it.
Right,
Because if you really didn't do it, you're gonna have emotion. You're just like, no, didn't do it.
right.
Right.
Yeah, he's pretty cold, man. No foul play is suspected. It seems like he died of natural causes, but I did not see that the autopsy report has ever been made
never
public, so
seen
I'm
that
not
either.
sure about that. He definitely got away easy for all the bad shit that he did, but at least the taxpayers of California are done paying his
Yeah.
dumb ass. I also heard that there was some drama with the wife because she was able to collect on his medical or disability or whatever.
Yeah, the $1,700 a month or whatever. It
Yeah,
was.
and she stood behind him until he was convicted, and then she was able to though collect that until he died. So she got 4 years of that, but people were throwing a fit about that, justifiably so. In 2014, there was a documentary, Tales of the Grim Sleeper. I watched that. Very, very good. Well done. This guy goes out on the streets in South Central.
I did not watch it, but dude,
And he's fucking crazy,
seen
man.
clips.
Like, Jesus Christ. But
I've seen like little. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I've watched things like.
yeah, one of the Lonnie's girlfriends takes them on like a tour of South Central, and they talk to the son,
Right, and there's
multiple friends, other girls from the
and
street.
there's real
you know.
people out there because the British dude, like, they're out there yelling, "What are you doing here? Get the fuck out the hood!"
Yeah, they're like freaking
they're, like,
out on him.
Like,
Yeah.
think you're an undercover cop, basically.
Exactly, man. Yeah, those girls were afraid to talk to him because that's what everybody thought. And in
Right.
that neighborhood, you definitely don't want to be seen talking to cops, you know.
Definitely.
But that was a really good one if you're interested in this case. The interviews were great. And like I mentioned, the son, Chris, still lives in the house. So they interview him. There was also a Lifetime movie called The Grim Sleeper, but I did not subject myself to
I
that.
bet you it's fucking. I bet you it's amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna watch it.
Lifetime movies. I always get a kick out of the titles of Lifetime movies.
I bet it has the fucking.
16 and pregnant, you know. It's like, oh my
Oh,
God.
that was MTV, bro.
Yeah.
So, guys, anything to add to this one? Anything we didn't cover?
I mean, this is the first time hearing about it. I'm definitely gonna like check more of it out.
Yeah,
like,
check out that
Yeah, dude,
one.
definitely.
Tales of the Grim Sleeper's really good.
Yeah.
That's a
definitely
good
have to do that.
documentary to
That
watch.
Sounds good.
As a fucking as I say all the time, I'm a huge fan of interrogation videos. When they brought
Oh my
Lonnie
God.
Franklin in,
It's brutal, dude.
It's so good, and he's like stone cold. But they fucking just lay out all 10 pictures of
One
all
at a
them
time.
girls. And I mean, if you're him and you're just there and you know about DNA, and they're telling you, "Hey, you know about DNA now,"
Yeah, he asked
and they're
them that.
pulling out every single person that you've killed, and you're just like. Yep, and
Don't know
they're like you're not, you fixed your last car.
Right.
And they're like, you've seen your daughter for the last
That's
time.
right.
Like, they were just fucking hard. And he sat there the whole time just like,
Nope.
stone cold. He'd fucking
I
denied
don't know
everything.
her.
And he
I've
was
never
like,
seen her
yeah,
before.
and he was like, well, guess I'm going to have to get an attorney. And they're like, oh, why? Because you're guilty? And he's like, well, for the things that you're saying, I guess I need an attorney. And just like,
Wow.
he's just so matter of fact about everything.
He is. It's very frustrating. I watched the
Yeah.
entire thing, and I was
Yep.
like, oh, my God. Yeah, it's pretty bad. On YouTube, that was good. The Tales from the Grim Sleeper was on AMC Plus, was how I watched that. The Time Suck podcast from Dan Cummins was really good on him, and that's a recent one, too. So there is some really good stuff out there. There's a lot more. It's just a few I mentioned. Next week, I'm going to be having some surgery, Chris, some carpal tunnel surgery. Been
You've
dealing
been
with
working
this.
on these fucking computers for the podcast so goddamn
Oh, God.
much, dude. Like, oh, my fucking wrist hurt. But yeah,
I do a lot of typing, though, between the podcast and my
real
writing.
work and
Yeah, and my job, too. Yeah, so it's, I don't know if it's from that or not, but anyway, my right hand's been really bothering me, and it's been getting progressively worse, and there's an urgency to getting this done. So I'm going to be doing that
Yeah,
Tuesday, and then we'll be all good, and just be a few days in a bandage and a brace, and then be back at it. So next week, we're not going to be in here, but I'm going to play a couple of the episodes we've done, the interviews on our Patreon only stuff that we have never released that we're going to release next week. I'll pick two of them.
Yeah, we still got super cool shit on
We got
there.
some really cool stuff on there. So
We're,
we'll release that next week as sorry we're not on.
Since we dropped the fucking the Capone
The
episode,
Capone one.
the only
Right.
one. Do we have one left?
No, that's it.
Okay, but we're about
Getting
to
ready
do
to
one
do a
pretty
really
soon.
good one,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's going to be exciting.
Yes, we're going to announce that probably here in the next couple weeks. So that's what's going on next week. But after that, Chris, we're definitely going to get dark in the month of October with some creepy shit. And we're going to
Crowley.
open it out
Fucking
with
love
Aleister
Aleister
Crowley.
fucking
That's going to be a
Crowley,
good
dude.
one.
Satan.
The satanic,
I like nipples,
occult
too.
fucking dude. Very fucked up. Definitely going to be a good one for us to do to kick off October.
Fuck yeah.
We got a lot of good ones. Joey, page a day, you got any of them?
We got them.
right.
I got a few of them. You know, something I'll say before I start the page a day is I got to watch the 10 Rillington Street.
Oh yeah, did you like that?
I did. And I looked it up on fucking Amazon Prime, and I found it, and it was the 1970 one with John Hurt.
That's a good one.
Because there's also, I saw that there's a new one
They
called
did.
Rillington or something. But no, it was a really fucking good movie, so I'm glad I saw that, and I know that we're going to be doing, you know, what the fuck's his name?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's
it
his
totally
name,
caught me
Jesus.
off guard.
Yeah.
No, Christie.
John Christie.
John Christie. yeah.
I was like, I drew
I
a
know, it
blank
threw
on
me
it.
for a second.
Yeah, but no, we'll be doing John Christie. So anyway, so I
So
saw 10
weed does,
Rillington.
man.
Yeah, but I read that on the page today, and it was a movie I hadn't seen, so that was cool. So anyway, all right, now this one obviously is a little bit a while ago, and this was for September 11th, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Pete re-uploaded and shared the
Rick Riscola.
the Rick Rescola episode,
Right.
which was awesome for September 11th. Now, page today is talking about there's 2,977 deaths from the terrorist attacks on September 11th. Now, in the city of New York, there was only one other homicide on record for that day. And it was the
Wait,
shooting.
hold on. Like September 11th, 2001.
September 11th, New York City had one other homicide besides them attacks, and it was a Polish immigrant named Henryk Siwiak. And he's at the Lower Manhattan construction site where he worked, and it was evacuated. So he goes to his sister's house in Far Rockaway, Queens, and he's looking for work in the classified ads, and he finds fucking place, this Polish supermarket that tells him, yeah, you can go ahead and you can start that night. So this is like September 11th, that shit,
The fuck?
So at about 11:40 p.m., he's shot as he's walking to the job outside this Brooklyn neighborhood.
Wow.
Neighbors heard the gunshots and saw him stumble up to a stoop, and he tried to buzz an apartment for help.
Right.
But the person inside, the resident, was too afraid after they heard the gunshots, so they didn't respond to it.
Well, shit.
So even besides that, the police ambulances did get there quickly, but he had already died, unfortunately. And because of the day's events, the police could only provide a third of the investigative resources usually devoted to a crime like that.
God
so
damn,
the murder remains
third.
unsolved.
Wow.
So on September 11th, some
Jesus.
asshole killed somebody
Right?
else.
What
That's
the
fucking
That's fucked
asshole.
up, man.
Yeah. All right.
That's
So,
just fucked up.
all right. Now this one's fucked up. This is about a love story with some fucked up people right
Oh,
here.
damn. Sugar babe?
Right. So you hear about stories, with victims falling in love with their rescuers, and that's like heartwarming and stuff. But
Right.
whenever you got a victim that falls in love with the attacker, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that is
And they're
fucked
talking
up.
about Bert and Linda Pagach. And in 1959, Bert began dating her, and then she found out that he had a wife and a daughter that she had no idea about.
Oh.
So she tries to break things off. So he threatens her repeatedly. The New York Police Department, back then they just brush off all her complaints and shit.
Right.
And then he hears about her engagement to another man, so he hires 3 men to assault her. He maintains he just wanted them to beat her up, but they threw lye in her face and disfigured and partially blinded her.
Jesus.
Fucked her up. So he's sentenced to 14 years in prison, and during that time he continues to write to this woman, Linda. And whenever he gets out, they get married until her death in 2013.
Whoa.
Even through a 1997 trial he had for threatening to beat another woman that he was having an affair with. So that's
What's that called?
God
Something.
damn.
What's the first word? Something by proxy. What's that called?
Munchausen.
Munchausen.
It's fucked up.
That's
This story.
fucked
real
up.
fucked
That's
That
a
shit's
fucked up
fucked
story.
up.
That is
All
fucked
right,
up.
so page today we're keeping going. Now
Yeah.
this is one of the quotes that I get. Like I got a few of them up on the wall and
Get
shit.
some good ones.
I thought this quote was pretty classic. Now this is an excerpt from a letter that John Hinckley Jr. had written to Jodie Foster.
Oh, okay.
So John Hinckley Jr. is the one
Oh,
that he
yeah.
attempted to assassinate Reagan
Right.
Yeah,
for
because
Jodie
of
Foster.
Jodie Foster,
So
yes,
this was
yes.
part of that. What
I-
he said. He said, "I will admit to you that the reason I'm going ahead with this attempt now is because I just cannot wait any longer to impress you. I've got to do something now to make you understand, in no uncertain terms, that I'm doing all of this for your sake. By sacrificing my freedom and possibly my life, I hope to change your mind about me. This letter is being written only an hour before I leave for the Hilton Hotel. Jody, I'm asking you to please look into your heart and at least give me the chance with this historical deed to gain your respect and love." And that's what John Hinckley
God. Yeah.
like
And that's like after Taxi Driver, right?
yeah,
And she's
right,
like, what,
right.
13
Yeah.
or 14 at the time?
I don't even know like the context if she even knew this dude beforehand or
Yeah,
not.
I don't
and it's
know.
like, is this dude completely delusional? So fucked up.
I think so, yeah.
But I thought that was fucked
Oh, my
up.
God. That is fucked.
Imagine if you
All right.
got that letter yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
So I got a couple more. Like we were off for a while, so I had a few extra page a days this time. So this one's about Dominique Dunn. Now, Dominique Dunn is the daughter of Dominic Dunn, who went on to he fucking like followed the OJ case and fucking wrote the stories about that.
Oh, yeah,
like a
okay.
few other big fucking
Right.
big cases. Anyway, Dominique Dunn, she was a rising star in the 80s, and she was in the movie Poltergeist. She was the daughter in that. And she was also in TV shows like Fame and Hill Street Blues. Now, November 4th, 1982, she was strangled to death by her former boyfriend, John Thomas Sweeney. And when the police came up, Sweeney came up with his hands up, telling him he'd just killed his girlfriend, tried to kill himself. So she had ended her relationship with him because he had been repeatedly physically abusive towards her. And Sweeney claimed that they were going to reconcile everything, which, tends to be the fucking story, and then flew into a rage after she changed her mind about it.
Right.
And he ended up killing her. The initial charge of first-degree murder was whittled down to voluntary manslaughter and assault, and he was sentenced to 6.5 years, and he was released after serving just over half that time. So he killed Dominic Dunn and only did like 3 years.
Yeah, that's weak, dude. Murder. Yeah,
that's fucked up.
So her case was
that.
fucked up, but also it was cited as the first death in the so-called Poltergeist curse, which going into October, classic.
Oh, yeah.
But the movie Poltergeist had a whole lot of shit that went on behind it. Dunn portrayed Dana Freeling in the first movie, and then 6 years after her murder, almost to the day on February 1st, 1988, Heather O'Rourke, who was Carol Ann in the movies,
Right.
she died of a misdiagnosed acute bowel obstruction at the age of 12, which was, a sad situation.
Yeah.
On top of these deaths, there were two more, not so mysterious ones. 60-year-old Julian Beck, who plays the evil Kane Spirit in Poltergeist 2. He plays Kane in Poltergeist 2. He died of stomach cancer 7 months before the film's release. And then Will Sampson, who played the good Spirit Taylor in the same film, he died of a heart-lung transplant a year after that was released. So, I mean, these are all coincidences, but at the
it's
same
like The
time,
Exorcist, though.
Right, it's creepy shit.
Yeah, it is, for
fucking
sure.
Crazy.
All right, so I got one more from Page Today. This one's called the Chimney Crossdresser.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So they're talking about, this is a male. He's a white dude, about 18 to 35 years old. This is what he's found in. Sleeveless paisley dress with matching belt, long sleeve button down shirt, medium sized shaggy pile sweater, low heeled pointed shoes, wearing one pair of socks, carrying another, a German Iron Cross medallion, and no underwear. So the remains of this man were found in the chimney of a Good and Loud music store on University Avenue in Madison, Wisconsin, September 3rd, 1989. His pelvis was broken, which shows that he was probably stuffed into the chimney.
Oh, yeah.
And it was estimated that he had been there for about 2 months to 2 years. So they don't know. There was
Wait,
there was
that's not
2
fucking
months
big
to 2 years.
gap.
That sounds like the cable company coming to try to hook your
Right.
shit up.
Yeah,
So-
I'll be there between dawn and dusk.
So in addition to his eccentric clothing, the chimney crossdresser also had a butter knife and a pocket comb in his possession. In 2012, a woman came forward suggesting that he may have been a page in the state legislature sometime between 77 and 85 based on the reconstruction of his face. So they never knew who this guy was, but they just found him stuffed in this chimney in Madison, Wisconsin.
That's fucking crazy as fuck.
So
man.
page a day. That was
Page a day.
Hell, page a day.
Good stuff, man. All right, well, we've done our fair share of murdering tonight. I hear that music. CK coming round the bend, ready to throw down. So, Joey or Mason, why don't you tell us what the fuck we need to do?
Well, we're about to get our fucking metal on.
Known the world over as the master of metal, the crusher of posers, and murder metal mayhem's knower of all things metal, hailing from Wild Van Street in Danbury, Connecticut, standing at 6 feet of brutal, punishing madness, weighing in at 220 pounds of poser pulverization. The one, the only, toughest bastard on the planet, Chris C.K. Kovacs!
There he is. CK, what's up, dude?
What's
Great
up,
metal
homie?
motherfucker.
I'm here from Stu.
We got Mason still here, CK.
Awesome,
He's
awesome.
here. He's from the 666 Club. Sitting here proudly in Horns High. Mason, how you holding up over there?
I'm having a great fucking time.
Hell
Fuck
yeah,
yeah,
man.
dude.
Talking some grim sleeper, CK getting nasty, throwing prostitutes out of cars and just not giving a fuck.
GTA style.
Very much.
He did. That's,
So,
that's
yeah,
He
very
was,
Grand Theft Auto.
he
Yeah,
was pretty much an attacker.
yeah, he was. Speaking of that, CK, you got a good one. We got some Pop-Tarts sent to us.
We
We've
did.
been eating some Pop-Tarts. Joey, who sent in some Pop-Tarts?
Stephanie from Toledo.
Hell yeah.
She heard you.
419.
Yeah, 419
419.
represent. She heard you talking about it on the last podcast.
Hell yeah, thank you,
Fruit
Stephanie.
Loops,
Some,
motherfucking
yeah, some Fruit
Pop-Tarts.
Loops podcast or Pop-Tarts. And CK,
Podcast.
you got some Pop-Tarts, didn't you get sent some?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, what did you
What'd you
wind
get?
up getting? We
What'd
got
you
the
get?
sweet Kellogg's Fruit Loop Pop-Tarts.
They were
What'd you
so
get?
Well, I have the ones that I have the ones that I had,
I said I had
the
the
brown, then the brown sugar that you sent me.
And then we were
I
back
thought
to-
you would get a kick out of that, CK. I saw the Clover Valley maple
Yeah.
sugar
So I'm
and
like-
cinnamon.
I'm like, that's where I go. Did you know people sending me something? She goes, no. I'm like, are you lying? Because usually you'll tell her if I'm
Right,
getting
like,
a
hey, don't
surprise
tell
from you.
CK, but I'm sending
Yeah, no,
this.
I didn't tell anybody, man.
Did you not
But
like
I'm like,
the
holy shit.
Pop Tarts?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
hell
didn't like
yeah.
the Pop-Tarts, though?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I ate 'em.
motherfuckers with some chocolate milk or some
You ate
beer.
some different ones, though, right?
I can't. God, if I had that with chocolate milk, that would bind me up.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well,
Well, it
it's-
sucks when you don't have an asshole, don't it?
No, I actually enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
well,
It's a lot
CK,
easier.
you are the great metal
Fuck yeah.
motherfucker, and you're going to talk about a kind of a classic metal band, and so I'm anxious to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, this band probably should have been bigger than what they were. They were the band is Attack Rod in New Jersey, formed in '83, originally called Warlock without the K.
Oh
So it's
shit!
Warlock, LOC minus the K.
That's
Well-
stupid.
It being real, they went out on the ledge there.
Yeah, I guess.
But shit, how many bands were named Warlock at that time?
A lot because like dark, evil, like
Right.
warlock.
Maybe it was like Warloke, like Tone Loke.
Yeah, there you go.
there you go. I know
No,
that.
no, it
Hell
didn't
yeah,
have
dude.
that. It didn't have that thing over it.
Yeah.
That thing over it. Don't look at this thing all over everything.
So fuck that asshole. Let's talk about some metal.
Right.
So they actually had a couple demos. Metal Blade put out a couple tune of theirs on, I believe it was the Metal Massacre 5 CD. And they were, at the time they were coming out of a decent New Jersey scene because you had Hades at that point too, who were very popular as far as well known. They were on the same album, same Metal Massacre as Attacker. And eventually they put out the first album with Metal Blade, Battle at Helm's Deep.
How was it?
Did not. It's a great album, but it did not
Because I don't know.
do well
I
as
don't
far
know
as far as the sales.
Right.
It got great reviews, but sales just weren't there. And instead of waiting, or instead of actually recording their second album and putting it out after the first one, they decided to wait on a major label. And that backfired right in their ass because they didn't really get that many major label offers. So
Right.
what ended up happening is they signed with Mercenary Records at the time,
Right.
Who's a mercenary?
which at the time
That was out of New York City.
had about 5 bands who, at this point, most of them are cult status, except for one who is the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah.
Crystal Vision.
No, the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah, Primal Fear. There was a few bands on the label.
Attacker.
We've had this conversation before. But I think it's crazy the Goo Goo Dolls are in the Cannibal Corpse fucking
Yeah. Is there
bleeding
metal?
Yeah.
liner notes. Like,
Right.
Well, they were
what the
they were a
Buffalo
punk
band.
band.
Yeah. Another Buffalo band.
They're from Buffalo and they're punk.
At the time, yes.
yeah, at
And-
the time, yeah.
Yeah. And Celluloid went down like a loaded plane. And at this time, I think Attacker, for each album they put out on after that, was on a totally different label.
Right.
So they never had really a stable label to
Just bounced
call
around.
home.
Right.
Yeah, and they put out Second Coming in '88. That was on Celluloid / Mercenary. Soul Taker in 2004, which was on some small label. The Unknown in 2006 on another label that couldn't tell you who they were. Giants of Canaan 2013, and a couple years ago, Sins of the World in 2016.
Wow.
All their albums are really good. No quality issue as far as how they sound, or songwriting issues. They sound great.
Just never seem to find a
A
big
niche
audience.
or a
Yeah, that's
home
what I was saying. Niche
or
somewhere,
distribution.
It's too bad, man.
But I did see him live. Probably it was like 2006, 2007 in Danbury.
Yeah, were they good?
They were awesome. They sounded awesome.
That's cool.
It was right before they were still recording what was it? Giants of Canaan, which didn't see the light of day until 2013, so it was like
Right.
6 years before you even saw that.
Wow.
But all their stuff is available, I believe, on CD and
like physical
on
copy.
streaming
And
platforms.
streaming, yeah, I saw it
I'm
there.
sure streaming, but you can get physical copies though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
hell
cool.
yeah.
So check them out.
Yeah, a good old school band, man.
A good old metal band. A little bit of thrash, a little bit of classic metal. All around a good band. Good live band, like I said. Definitely check them out and stream them first if you like it. Try to buy some from them and give them a little bit of support.
Give 'em
Yeah,
props.
that's
Fuck
awesome. Now, CK, you got a Lost Classic for us.
This Lost Classic is one of my fucking favorite albums of all time. Like, just because I was so young when I first heard it, but like this has been with me my whole fucking life.
Damn.
I've gone on record to say I love this band.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit what people say. They're not. I don't think they're a poser band at all. They have one of my favorite documentaries that when Pete was
Yeah. It's a
here
good one.
visiting, we watched, and I think Pete was surprised by
Persistent like a motherfucker. Oh, my God.
by
A lot of adversity.
by this band and what it actually took for them to get signed. And it's Twisted Sister Love Is for Suckers.
fuck yeah.
That's a good album.
Fucking Twisted Sister.
It came out after that thing of garbage. I forget what the album before that was, but it was just horrible.
Stay Hungry.
No, it was after Stay Hungry.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was so bad. I don't even remember it.
Yeah. That's
But
cool. Yeah, give
that's been reissued along with
Twisted Sister some love. Check
along
that
with
out.
all
I will never.
along with
It's
all.
not my thing, but hey, it's cool. I mean, I liked them back in
come
the
on.
day. The first one, when the first one came out, I liked them.
Yeah.
Stay Hungry, I
The
saw
first
them on
three are
tour
awesome.
open for somebody big. I can't remember who it
If you-
was.
if you
Dee
get
Snider
Stay
did
Hungry-
a huge thing for the metal scene as far as the political shit.
Yeah,
Like,
it got a lot
Yeah.
of airplay, a lot of video play back
But,
when videos
I'm just
were a
talking
thing.
about what he did about like.
Oh, making a stand against the
PMRC.
PMRC.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Right.
But there
Dee
is
Snider did
there is a
huge fucking
re-recorded
thing.
Yeah.
there's a re-recorded version of Stay Hungry called Still Hungry that's available. Where they redid it and did it if there was no major label,
Yeah.
putting their nose in it.
Interesting.
It's a lot heavier.
Huh.
So check that out too.
Fuck
That's
yeah,
cool. All right. Well, I hear that 6
Onslaught.
fucking 6. Onslaught. All right. We're going to talk about what we've been listening to. All right. 6 fucking 6.
dude. What are you motherfuckers
All right.
listening to?
Yeah, Mason,
dude.
what have you been
Come on,
listening
man.
to here lately?
Actually, a lot of shit that I heard at FTA I've been jamming. So
That's good. That's what it's all about, right?
yeah.
Very cool. What are a couple of standouts?
Crawling Manifest and
Nice.
Bat.
Bad,
fucking
Bad.
yeah.
I like
That
too.
was
Yeah.
awesome.
I like too. Joey, what about you, dude?
The same shit. Checking out a lot of those bands, and then another CD that I got in the car right now is De Caribbean, from Bogota, Colombia. The album "Bastard Son of Divinity," just fucking one of the most brutal releases from 2020, in my opinion.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Now listen to that on the way here was
Yeah.
badass.
Is that
What
was
about
on
you,
the way here?
CK? What have
Yeah.
you been
Badass.
jamming lately?
New Carcass and New Maiden.
Yeah, me too, dude.
It's really been it.
The new Carcass is the shit, man.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
We were talking about that earlier. Played
Yeah,
a
that
cut.
shit was badass.
Very, very badass. Very heavy, very heart work, necroticism era Carcass. I really like
Definitely.
it. Really, really cool stuff. So very
Definitely a
awesome.
combo between heart work and everything before that.
Right.
What
Chris,
you been
what about
jamming,
you,
Chris?
dude?
Honestly, the other day I was just listening to Demanufactured, fucking
Oh, yeah.
Fear Factory. Like I was just jamming the fuck. I was like,
I love
gotta
that
hear it.
album.
dude. That album is so fucking good, dude. Other than that, like I've been listening to not that, but the motherfucking Having Kittens.
Yeah, that's just badass.
The name of the band made me want to go watch them.
Yeah.
I was just like, these guys are gonna, and they were fucking so brutal. So you got a dumbass name, so it makes people intrigued to you to come see you.
Yeah, we played
Yeah,
it with a
badass.
badass band when I was in Low 12, and they were called Burning Love Letters. I'm like, you got to change that name, please.
Yeah,
Just,
but
it's
they
not
were
right.
badass.
They were badass.
But Cashman,
Yeah.
we'll talk about FTA in a minute after we talk about what we're fucking listening
Yeah,
What
so
you
I
been
think
jamming,
we've
Pete?
covered that. So how you guys recovered? You're back from the FTA, the big show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a lot of media attention this time around for some
Oh, it
cool
got a
stuff.
lot of
so
media attention.
we're gonna break this up. We're gonna
Wonder
talk
why.
about the bands a little bit now in the metal segment, and then
Yeah.
in Mayhem,
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah, we'll
have
talk
a
about-
couple
we'll
good
talk about some
stories from
stories.
what went on down there.
Since
So
we're running late, we'll ping pong the bands. I mean,
Yeah.
You had the
Right.
classic sexual atrocities.
The
set.
sexual
was a
atrocities
killer
never
show.
and even Bodie wasn't doing vocals this time, which is whatever it's
Yeah.
first, but sexual atrocities still killed Hugh fucking out there just murdering.
Yeah,
Murder.
it's crazy because you have a band like that, and half the crowd that's there already knows what's going on when they come up. So the
Right.
people are half the thing because they're ready to party.
They're ready to party.
And they had a like not a blow up pool, a real fucking kid swimming pool in the
Yeah, I
mosh
hopped
pit
in it.
with people in it.
But, yeah, just
They had
dragging
huge
around. It was
inflatables,
like,
Wow.
dude, it was like the best.
There was fucking
Fucking-
Bat Set was really good, which Pete, you said
Yeah.
you've been checking them out.
Yeah, Bad Set was awesome. Escuela, dude.
Escuela Grind
Yeah,
from
Escuela.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, Escuela,
fucking
dude.
Nunslaughter
Fucking
was a
god
killer
damn.
set too.
Nunslaughter. Yep.
Dude, Escuela, dude, like we said earlier, like homegirl, like was doing her vocals, her pitch shifters didn't work, but she just straight took the drummer's mic, said "fuck this," and kept the party
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Like, don't give a fuck.
They were awesome.
And she's just like getting it in. The Escuela
They're a
was
three-piece
awesome.
straight grind
For,
band with a female vocalist, female guitarist, and a dude drummer. Like
Yeah,
Cool,
dude, they were so
I saw
fucking.
John Jarvis was there
badass.
with his.
Oh,
his
Jarvis
band
was
Nest.
hanging out.
Nest was
Nest
fucking
was killer.
awesome. Yeah.
I was just about to talk
And then,
about
of
them,
course,
actually.
Adam Jarvis.
Yeah.
was drumming with Misery Index. And
Brutal.
holy fuck,
Those
Misery
guys are
Index.
ridiculous.
Their set was
Yeah.
so fucking
Dude,
good.
what's
Insane.
fucked up is Misery Index played here in Bloomington the
I
night
know.
before.
Yeah.
I know. I
Yeah.
thought
The
that was
night
funny.
before they came to FTA, they was in Bloomington.
Yep, just some random
With,
bar.
also
like
was
nothing special. The night
No
shot.
Mas.
Oh,
What
no
about
Moss
Pit Lord?
played. Pit Lord was really good.
For it
Dude.
being an early morning set, hungover, I was fine with Moss.
Hey, Pete, do you know who Pit Lord is?
I've heard of them before.
They're
They
from
are straight
Davenport,
up
Iowa.
barbecue metal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they got like their drum
had a
machine,
barbecue
but they got a
on
fucking
their set.
grill back there with smoke rolling out of it. That's
Oh,
their
wow.
drummer.
Yeah.
And they're just so grinding, so fucking heavy. It's two dudes, and oh my god, they're so good, dude.
Oh, I've been jamming them too.
Fuck yeah.
Malignancy had a 6 set. Chemicals, thrash metal from
Chemicals.
Texas. They fucking
Dude,
came
when we
up.
saw those guys
Devourment
in fucking
was
goddamn
brutal.
Devourment was
Milwaukee.
huge.
Chemicals
Yeah.
is the
I've seen them before.
the comic book I just handed you was Chemicals.
Oh yeah, Atoll. No, Atoll.
No, that was Atoll, yeah.
yeah, which they played too.
Yeah,
Fucking.
Atoll was fucking awesome.
And I mean, and the biggest fucking
Yeah.
Exodus.
Yeah. Exodus.
Holy
dude.
shit! And
Those guys are amazing live.
Dude,
dude, they
but
played it all
they
old
made
school
history.
Set. Yeah,
Yeah. They did.
Everyone made history. Like,
Yeah.
they fucking brought the golf carts into the pit. For the last song was the Toxic Waltz, and they had
Yeah.
talked about. People were
Where you
joking
fucking-
online about a fucking golf
About
cart
a
pit.
golf cart.
Right.
You know,
And
they
before you
made
know it, there's
happen.
fucking 5 golf carts going in the.
Like circling
fucking
motherfuckers
awesome.
Yeah,
rocking
there's
them
video of it
motherfuckers,
all over.
dude.
It was
Like
like
surfing on
you're,
top of
You're
them and
looking
shit.
at it like, how bad can this turn out?
And it
Oh, it
turned
could've
out
been
And it
awful.
turned out fucking awesome.
Nobody
Like,
got hurt.
amazing.
These
Yeah.
motherfuckers knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
I was
because there was
standing up
people
on the-
running between them. So
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
man, if somebody
Dude,
falls,
I, was
you
sta-
know.
I wasn't in it because we'll get into why
That's
I
a good
wasn't.
reason.
We'll get into why I wasn't there in the mayhem segment. But I was up on the tower.
Yeah.
Me, Derek, and Michael were up on the tower like, oh, this is happening. And dude, from up on top, it's like 50 feet in the air, looking down, it's like a whirlwind
Yeah.
of fucking awesomeness that
Yeah, and
you
it
will
was cool
never
'cause-
understand if you don't experience it.
Exodus, the singer Steve Souza, was on stage talking about it.
Yeah,
Fucking
definitely.
it's been like,
Yeah.
you know, he
Gary
was
Holt's
saying it
been-
while they were playing.
Gary
Yeah.
Holt's been fucking interviewed and fucking
Yep.
like about no, this is what happened.
Yeah.
So I feel like FTA fucking 2022
Definitely on the
is
map.
going to be fucking.
I'm ready for it.
I'll
next
say
year.
a couple other standouts real fast too. Was Virulent Excision came out
Virulent-
of
yeah,
Chicago,
from Chicago,
Miguel's
yeah.
band. And dude, the headliner for Thursday night, Weed Eater,
Dude, Weed Eater
stoner fucking
stomp.
doom band. They
Oh, I love those guys.
Oh, they
Yo,
were
Weed Eater
fucking
was so
awesome.
good, dude.
And
Yeah.
Byzantine, you said,
And
killed it
Byzantine,
too.
And
yeah.
Byzantine, yeah.
played, too.
Friday night's closer on the mini stage.
Devourment.
Devourment,
Devourment,
they
yeah.
killed too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
those guys are wicked.
So yeah,
Dude, this shit was so fucking.
there was a lot of good bands. There wasn't one band that I just
So
didn't
anybody
like.
listen to this in a year, you have time.
Yeah.
Get your shit. Come to FTA 2022.
It's like a
The
3-dayer, man.
Oh, yeah,
It's
the
amazing.
dates are already set. September 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, right?
Yeah,
I
I, think
believe
something
so.
like that.
Yeah, I think it's the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th because Labor Day is the 5th.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
I've already looked it up. So
so
September,
yeah, full terror
get
assault
it
already
in.
set up for next year.
Get
so
you down.
sounds
You
like
go
a good
camping,
fun-
bring your own beer, bring your food, fucking hang out with people,
Yeah, you
have a
don't
good
hop
time.
on stage and say,
Watch
hey,
some
can I get
metal.
beer?
Right.
Watch some metal.
Now, the 666 Club, we've been talking about it.
Yep.
Mason here's a member of the 666
Yes,
Club.
he is.
Do you like being a member of that?
I like it because I get bored with different podcasts, so I
you
can
get the
always
shit
scroll
early.
through it, and I can always find something I haven't listened to.
Hell yeah,
Boom.
dude.
That's
And you
what's
get
up.
everything early and stuff like that. So it's a cool thing. We'll link to it in the episode description, but patreon.com/Murder Metal Mayhem is our Patreon page. You could join that 666 Club, just $3 a month, and you get 10% off merch. You get the podcast the day before everybody else, and other than this week, where they're all getting it only a couple 3 hours after
My
we're done.
bad.
So
That was
we're
on me.
burning the midnight oil to get this one out.
Everybody.
But that's cool. Those of you that are members, we appreciate that. Real quick, I did see a really good story. Jeff Becerra,
Yeah.
vocals of death metal legends Possessed.
Yeah.
He's been in a wheelchair since like '89 from a
Doing
gunshot
shows.
incident.
Yeah, I saw
Still
that.
been playing with
Shows.
Possessed, but now he
From a
was able
robbery
to
gone
stand
wrong.
and walk with some like computerized legs. So that's
Yeah.
fucking cool as hell.
That's
so
bad.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about getting robot legs.
that's really cool, though. I got to hand it to that guy. I dealt with him when I was in heavycore, and he was really cool.
Hell yeah.
And he's just a nice guy, and he's a hardcore fucking metalhead for sure. So, also we got these
Our shirts. They're fucking badass.
It's in season now with the zombies on the front.
Oh yeah, Gaither's art.
I
Blood
just wore mine
stains
the
on
other
the
day.
back. Fuck yeah. So you can go check that out in the episode description. Order one of those. And
yeah.
we've done plenty of metal tonight. So CK, what the fuck do we need to do?
Mayhem.
Out of legend he rise. The spirit's war within his eyes.
kids, when was the last time you had a nice, tall, ice-cold glass of Flavor Aid? Well, we're going through a bit of a rebranding here, and rather than run away from the horrible tragedy in Guyana in 1978, we're going to wave that banner high and proud.
That's right, Chad. Here in 2021, we're going to introduce some brand new flavors that are sure to be a hit at your summer parties. How about Guyana Gushing Grape or Choking Cherry, Suicide Sunny D, or our personal favorite, Why Mommy Watermelon?
That's right, bro. Try some Flavor Aid today and find out why it's okay to talk about mass suicide after 2020. As long as you're drinking a nice tall glass of Flavor Aid to make it taste good. Hell yeah.
Oh my God. The Flavor Aid commercial.
Fuck yeah, Ken. Hell yeah, that was a good
That
one.
was great. Joey and Chris tagging up for that one. That was
Oh
good.
my God, dude.
The Flavor
some
Aid
Why Mommy
commercial we did, of
Watermelon?
course, for the Jim Jones
definitely
episode.
can,
That
dude.
was great. Before
Oh
that
my
was
God.
Attacker and the song Skinwalker.
Skinwalker!
All right. Well, we are in mayhem. We still have Mason here with us. He's still alive. CK, you're over there on Wild Man throwing down.
Yes, I am.
And we are in mayhem. And Joey, I don't know how you guys want to do this, but I know we got some mayhem to discuss.
Well, we're
I'll start out.
Yeah, we got
I mean, it's day
each
one,
one of
right?
us, me,
Right,
Mason,
yeah.
and Chris, have
Yeah,
a little
it's day
mayhem
one, right?
from our full terror.
Yeah, it's day one. I started out day one, literally. Where I'm,
This isn't
Like,
it. You know what?
there's
Let's
no
clarify.
band- yeah, there's
it's
no
not even
bands
day
playing.
one. It's the pre-day.
yeah,
it's Wednesday.
pre-day. There's no bands
Pre-game
playing
day.
this
Right.
day. So, like, we fucking get there. We're at our spot. We're like, fuck yeah, we're hooked up. And so, like, what do we do? We're going to hang out. We're going to drink. Fucking got our fucking campsite set up. And party. That's what we do. So, it gets to be dark, and I'm drunk. And there's, like, right across the gravel road, because it's a campsite. So, it's all gravel. But right across the road from where we're at, there's this old-ass school, or not school bus, fire truck. That's always there. Like, old as fuck. And it's spray painted on the side. It says Hog Rock, the best party in Southern Illinois, right?
It was super cool.
Yeah. So, like, I'm like, it's dark. I'm drunk. I'm like, I'm going to go climb on this goddamn fire truck. So I'm walking up. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, and it's not like it's the first time I've ever been on the. That's the part that sucks.
Yeah.
It's like I've never been there before. I've been there. So, like, I walk up the back, not paying attention, and there's this big steel box at the back of it, the back of the fucking cab. Didn't see it and just raked my whole fucking leg across it. And, like,
That was so brutal.
dude, peeled all the flesh. You could see my shin bone. No, you could see my shin bone.
I have
It,
pictures of it,
peeled
like, 30 seconds
flesh,
old.
like curled it up under itself. I'm
Oh,
just
God, I'm gonna
draining
puke.
blood.
It's really
I'm
bad.
just like, oh fuck, dude.
Right before the whole
Yeah,
thing's
no,
gonna
yeah,
kick
the
off.
night. I couldn't get it at any mosh pits all weekend or nothing because I'm like, no,
I mean,
I'm
he
not
should have
fucking-
went and got stitches right away.
No, I seriously
really
should have
gnarly.
left and went to the hospital.
But
and got
instead,
his-
we fucking partied with it. And
yeah, we
We had,
just fucking
like-
took some fucking alcohol pads out of fucking. Hey, Dan Stelling, I love you, brother. He was
Right.
stoked to use his fucking first aid kit. He's like,
said he's
I've
had
had
that in
this
his van
first
for
aid kit in here
years,
forever and never
used
got to use it.
Wow.
Thank you. So yeah, we
Nice.
just alcohol padded fucking triple antibiotic and wrapped it up with this shit styling can and
Yep.
shit.
Hey Dan, if you're listening to this, reminder, you should probably restock that though.
Yeah,
Just-
restock
Yeah.
that, dude.
Yeah, that's
definitely
true.
do that. Yeah, wrapped it up. I spent
Fucking
the whole
brutal.
I spent the whole weekend just like in pain. So like I'm doing this like the whole fucking weekend, just like carrying my fucking cooler full of beer and everything, like cool, hanging out, having a good time. So by Saturday night, like my ankle, just because of what happened to my shin, had swollen up like what, like
Twice as big as
at
the
least
other one.
twice
Wow.
as big. I'm walking around, my like shoes swollen around my fucking ankle and shit, bro.
God.
I'm just walking around like whatever. And fucking so
Jesus.
I went through that, and then it wasn't fun. So the next, like when we left on Sunday, I'm just riding back. I'm not driving, but I'm riding back with Brittany. Fucking everything's cool. I'm like, all the swelling's gone down. It still fucking hurts like a motherfucker, dude. You have no idea. Like it's
Yeah.
like like oozing. Who was it that said like this motherfucker's been bleeding out all weekend? Like,
Wow.
I think that was
it was
trash.
so bad. So
Fucking weekend at Shawbacks.
God damn, dude.
Definitely.
And 2 weeks. What is it? 2 weeks later?
About that.
A week.
No, right
Whatever.
now at this
Oh,
moment.
yeah.
At this moment. Oh yeah, a week later, I decide I should probably go see a doctor. Then I got
Finally got some
yeah, finally
antibiotics.
went and got
Wow.
antibiotics. Yeah, like a week later after this.
Did he freak
after
out?
After I'm hanging out at this music festival, like the fucking shit houses were dirty. There's bacteria flying everywhere.
Right.
I'm just stomping around, but it's healing up well.
Yeah.
Just want everybody to know it is healing. But goddamn, it was some of the most brutal shit. We
Wow.
we got to post pictures of the fucking
I'll
shit.
have to send you the original ones.
God damn.
They were like
No,
30
Mason took
seconds
this
old.
picture of it like after I folded the skin back
Oh,
down.
man.
Like
Oh,
not
God.
even when it was like coming off the truck. I folded the skin back down, like covered it up. Literally skin. And Mason's like, fuck.
I have to get a picture of this.
All right. Well, that was a good one. Who's up? Who's up
Mason,
next?
what'd you
I think
do?
Mason.
Oh.
What's up?
Well, I guess Chris kind of hinted to it earlier when we were talking about a gravy chug.
Yeah.
And it, like, I was there. This was my first time at FTA.
Yeah.
So.
And
I
they've
heard-
done the gravy. Chris was in it one year.
Oh my
So I
god.
heard
It's like
rumors-
sausage gravy? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you about it. Hold
What
on.
did they have
No,
you take
no.
though? Yeah, you tell us.
Mason had a fucking marathon of chugs.
So, my first night there, I heard somebody say there's a gravy chug. So I heard rumor of it pretty much all weekend, and it was hyping me up for it.
Yeah.
So I'm down at the stages one day, and they're talking about it. So I sign up, and I'm at the campsite, right? And I hear them say like, "All right, every contestant for the gravy chug, come down on the stage now." Well, I get there like maybe
No.
a few minutes late, right?
No, he's on his fucking mini bike,
about to
dude.
say that.
He's got his mini bike.
I bring
that's
my mini
ripping
bike
his
with
mini
me.
bike, but rah!
So Dan was there, and I'm riding like full throttle all the way up to him. I kill it, break it, and I throw the mini bike to him. I was like, I gotta get on stage. He's saying to himself, he's not gonna get there. Jump
Dude.
on stage, and they're like explaining the rules. I'm like, what do I gotta do? I don't even know. So they ended up having us chug a can of brown gravy,
A can of like Heinz bound
man.
gravy.
and it wasn't warm or anything.
No, it's just open.
It was just
Oh.
open. Yeah. Followed behind a shot of Fireball, which I hate Fireball
Right.
Yeah,
with
right.
a burning passion. Followed by
A Bud Light.
no. It was like it was in a full red Solo cup of white powder gravy, white pepper gravy,
Oh yeah, that's it. That's right.
and then followed right behind that was a full ice cold. Like I swear they just pulled this out of the cooler, like ice cold Bud Light.
Oh, my
And I wasn't
God.
ready for that because I've been drinking
like
like
gravy,
warm
whiskey,
beer all
gravy,
weekend.
beer.
Right. Gravy.
And like the goal was first person to
This
puke
is so Midwest.
wins. I'm like, I can chug things. This was meant for me. So I chug it, and I instant regret after the white pepper gravy.
Never instant
Oh,
regret.
God.
And then they're like, "All right, you gotta puke." So after the beer, I had to puke, and I did it. And then I'm like, "All right, I need another beer." So some guy hands me a beer. Wrong choice because it was a fucking Heineken. I hate Heinekens too. So I chugged that, and then some dude's like, "All right, I'll give you $20 if you lick your own."
No,
puke."
that was Joey.
No, that wasn't me.
Not you.
Oh.
Joey B.
Oh yeah.
Some guy was like, $20 to lick your own puke. Well, I saw this really badass hoodie from Murder Machine Clothing. It was $20. I mean, like,
Damn, what a
money.
guy'll do for
I
a
need
hoodie.
money.
I
Wow.
wanted a really badass hoodie. There it was, $20, I guess. I licked my own puke.
Okay.
It's your own.
All right.
It was
Hey,
my
it's your
own.
own.
And
Yeah,
then
Then what
there's that.
homeboy do? What homeboy do?
The biggest goremonger fan of all time.
The biggest
I want to
goremonger.
puke for Goremonger. If you watch the video, he says this is for Goremonger.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
I got pictures of him shoving his whole
And
fucking
he
head
comes
down.
This
right
dude
through.
last year came up to me after fucking the Soulfly set, like, I want to puke for Goremonger, bro, and he kept trying to shove his hand down his throat, and like he was about it. So this year he's back. So what's he do after the gravy chug?
Dude is like the biggest Goremonger fan ever. He comes, not just anybody's puke. Like, it wasn't his, it was mine. This dude comes right behind him, like it's a line of Coke, and just
And snorts.
snorts the shit out of it.
Snorts his
God.
vomit.
That's fucking disgusting.
I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, I'm done with this. And I
Wow.
grab a beer from somebody else that's unopened, and I just walk off stage at that point in time.
Right.
Like, I'm
Wow.
done with this. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Just
I'm going
snorted
to shower. No, I didn't even
fucked up.
shower because sexual atrocity was right
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
So
segue.
So this
Joey.
is into my part of the mayhem. So this year for Sexual Atrocity set, like we said, their normal vocalist Bodie, he had moved away, and because of medical reasons, he couldn't come back up for it. He's down in Florida now, but so our buddy Hugh, who's usually their hype man, he did the vocals for him. So they had
And he did fucking awesome.
He did
doing
awesome.
it, dude.
Awesome.
So they
Fucking
had
amazing.
me and two other guys there, their friends. We did the hype man shit. Like, we were fucking pouring the beers on
You
people.
should see Cashman. I got a
Silly
good picture
string.
of Cashman in his fucking goddamn nun.
He's dressed as
Fling,
a dress
fling.
With the
Yeah.
fucking sunglasses.
Yeah, I was in a
and the
priest outfit.
with
Yeah,
neon
it is
green
so good.
sunglasses.
But so we're up there, and I mean, when Sexual Atrocity is playing, it's fucking chaos.
No, it's a
like,
party.
The crowd
Yeah.
and the fucking band up on the like.
the mosh was wild.
We're dodging fucking each other up on the stage, you know, just not to get in the instrumentalist way, and it was sick. So we're going, and I mean, we're fucking almost to the end. There's like 2 more songs, and we got all these beers, these PBRs, because they're from Milwaukee, of course. Fucking Sexual Atrocity. So we're pouring beers down beer titty bongs and just in people's mouths and all
Was
that.
wild.
So we get near the end of
silly
the fucking.
string all over
Oh,
the
yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Fucking-
So we
it's-
get near the
it's
end
a
of it,
party,
and we're out of beers. We got like 2 songs left, and we're out of beers. But I look down on the ground, and there's the case of the fucking gravy from the gravy chug. So I look at fucking them, like the other dudes. I'm like, and they're like, not down the beer bong. And I was like, all right. So I fucking ran over, and I'm like, who's gonna be so wasted and having such a good time that they're just gonna open their mouth willingly and not know? Michael Shawback.
My fucking brother.
I walk over, they're partying. I bust it open like it's a beer and start pouring it down his throat. It's just that gravy, and he's just fucking chugging that shit.
gravy?
He realizes what it is and throws up all over Trash Stick who's
over
standing next to him. Dude, he fucking got it in his
He
hair.
got it in his
Fucking,
fucking, no, it's in Michael's hair. It's all over Trash's fucking ski mask. Like, how the
Damn.
fuck did it get on
Puked
there?
all
I'm
over
glad to have-
Necro
dude,
Cannibal Ass
Yes, he
Grinder.
did.
Oh my
Damn.
god, it was so. And he's the one that got mad.
Yeah.
Michael's the one that got mad. You ain't even the one that
and he
puked
got
on him.
over it after. Whenever
Yeah.
I saw it happen, because then I seen him, like, he walked off and, like, took off towards the camp. And so for, like, 5 minutes, I felt really bad about
After
it. Like,
his
damn,
shower,
was
he
that
was
bogus?
fine.
And then afterwards, I was like, no, that shit was funny.
Yeah,
Fuck
no,
that.
that's
Like,
fucking sexual
Yeah,
atrocity
that's
shit.
great.
I
That's
fucking
great.
walk back up, fucking Vanna, fucking Jason Murder's wife. Like, she's like, hey, you handed me some of Michael. She's like, your brother? Gone. I'm like,
Wow.
dude, FTA 2022.
Very cool. Sounds like
Come
a
on.
good time, man. Very cool.
Oh my God. So
Well,
good.
coming off of that, I
God.
hate to even bring up the next thing because it's such a bummer, but it is a bummer. I've decided to put the Voice of Dread podcast on hold for a little while, just not getting the listens, and I'm just thinking I need to kind of rebrand it or do something with it. So for right now, I'm going to hold off on doing any new episodes. I apologize to anybody that's been listening, but just not getting the listens, and I've got so much going on that I could be doing some other stuff. So with that, I apologize for anybody that's been a fan of
It's all
that.
good, man. You got
Yeah.
to do in life. That's
Now,
life.
You
good
got too much
stuff.
shit on your plate.
Creation of Chaos 3 has been doing well.
Hell yeah.
The audio book is out there on Audible, iTunes, or Amazon. You can buy it locally at the Painted Wraith Curiosity Shop in downtown Bloomington, Illinois, and I'll be doing a book signing there on Saturday, October 30th. So as we get closer, I'll tell you more about that. But we're getting there. Halloween, not that far away. Deeper Than Dead, the rough draft is 50% done. I finished
Hell yeah.
that today, so I'm pretty happy about that. That's going really good. And if you're a fan of that kind of stuff, go to my Deeper Than Dead page, and you can follow it and stay up on what's
Follow
going
that
on.
shit.
The Market on Main event I was at over the weekend in Hayworth here, where I live in Illinois. They have a big outdoor kind of flea market type thing, and I was in a good spot, guys, right across in the food and the shitter.
Hell yeah.
Perfect spot for
High
selling
traffic
merch.
areas.
Very
Right,
much.
yeah.
So I was
also,
loving it.
sometimes you got to eat and take a shit.
That's right.
Right.
And they had ice cream. It was a nice setup. And so I had met a lot of readers there. And some readers brought books for me to sign, and then some bought them when they were there.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of people bought all of them, just were like, I want them all. So that was really cool. So thank you very much. All right, killer cage match, guys. We got
Fuck
a good
yeah.
one tonight. We got a list of 70 killers, 70 objects, and 15 variables. And the listeners picked the random numbers, and we want to thank those listeners, Chris, that have given us those random
Well,
numbers.
Mason,
Mason?
if I can read that. Can you read that? You can't even read that. Never mind. We
I
got
don't have my
Cody
glasses
Durst.
on.
We
Cody
got Cody
Durst.
Durst on this motherfucker. Thank you, Cody. Rebecca Booms, like always.
Yes.
Always at the front line.
She
always.
Always beating me to it.
And we got fucking John Richardson, who beat you as well, Mason.
That's right. So
all
thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
thank y'all. Fuck
And you gave us these random numbers to come up with one hell of a badass matchup
Fuck yeah,
tonight,
we
Joey.
got fucking that bitch from Australia, Catherine Knight,
Oh,
skinning
man.
motherfuckers and hanging
One
it up.
piece.
Dude, she does it
And
with
she's gonna
precision.
fight against fucking Punky Brooks's mother,
Oh, damn.
the queen of the 419, Sugar
419.
Babe,
Wow.
fucking Sugar Babe.
I'm just wondering, has somebody done her feet so she's good to be able to
Oh,
do
God.
this?
I thought CK was taking care of that.
Damn.
Oh, no, no,
gotta do
no, no.
CK, we got a couple of objects for them to fight with, though. What are they going to be fighting with tonight, man?
They'll have an ice pick and an endless bottle of bleach.
Nice.
And the variable is
Yeah.
a coke core with herpes.
Ooh. Cocor with
That's good.
herpes. In a cage, we got Catherine Knight and Sugar Babe. They're going to be fighting with an ice pick and an endless bottle of bleach, and the variable is a Cocor with herpes. All right.
Right.
That sounds like an interesting evening. So, Chris, what are you thinking here, dude?
I think Sugar Babe's is going to be hanging out with the Cocor because she's going to sell her just like she did everybody else she did in her
Okay.
entire life.
Pimp her out.
I don't know. I'm fucking drunk.
Mason, what do you think, dude?
I don't know. Maybe Sugar Babe's gonna try and get that ice pick, give it to the crack whore with herpes.
Oh,
Why would you give it to her, though? That's
Okay,
my
but
thing.
hear me out. She's gonna take charge, right?
make her do the deed.
Make her do the deed.
So if something goes wrong, she may not get fucking skinned alive. Because Joey, you know that's what's happening.
No, Catherine's
Next.
coming at all of them. No, Catherine's coming at all of them.
CK, what do you think, dude?
I think one Sugar Babe is going to be infatuated with the coke core with herpes.
Right,
okay.
exactly. I mean, like,
She's gonna. I think she's gonna look for like
throw you
wounds
on
and
the
shit
tracks, too.
where she could stick her finger in.
Oh, okay.
And while she's doing that, Catherine Knight, she's gonna fucking pummel her with the ice pick.
I don't know, man.
That's the end of it.
Joey,
Hold on. I really think fucking Catherine Knight's going to win just because Sugar Babe can't get off of the fucking...
I was gonna say she's in like a wheelchair, so I don't know, Joey. I mean, you think?
She can wheel her ass out of there.
I don't know.
Well, she
They're in
got
a cage,
cash,
though, Joey. What do you think?
I
Dude?
think what's going to happen is fucking Sugar Babe and Catherine Knight, they're going to ring the bell, and of course Catherine Knight is going to have an easy access to go grab that fucking ice pick. And she's going to go over and she's going to go to fucking stab Sugar Babe, but before you know it, Sugar Babe fucking whistles into the air. Woo woo! 419 ho! That crack whore. That ain't no crack whore. That's fucking Punky Brooks in the ring.
Oh, no
He's gonna
way.
get the whole East Side 419 to come represent.
Oh, but wait.
wow.
And they go
Wait.
take out.
Oh, Oh,
my God.
oh, WVK. Oh,
WVK.
Shit.
WVK close. Oh, he's gonna close on every one of those fuckers.
Damn it.
WVK from the
God.
wings.
So, Killer Cage match, always a fun time.
I'm
so.
giving Catherine. Fuck them fucking 419.
Yeah, I think Catherine Knight's just too devastating. She gets a hold of that ice pick, it's over with, man.
That's what she's doing.
Sugar Babe
Fuck
can't even
you.
get out of a wheelchair, but
you,
it's fun to
crackhead.
bat it around,
yeah.
and it's great. So, all right.
Oh, I just have to say, guys, real quick.
What's
I'm
that?
running a special on my school. Oh, it's you can pay one price for the wrestling and the killing part, or you could just pay for the killing or the wrestling. It's up to you. Oh,
Okay.
All right,
oh,
then.
Shit,
give
sign
me
me
a call.
up.
Give me a call at 1-800-WVK kill. Again. Oh, 1-800 WVK kill.
All
Oh,
right.
right now. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, WVK. All right. We've done plenty of mayhem tonight, and then some.
Oh, my God.
So let's hit the fucking outro.
Unreachable lifeline. Who will survive? Out in the distance, reaching from beyond, was our existence consumed long ago.
They played the FTA show, and
Yep.
that was their song Primitive Age. Those guys are really cool from Richmond, Virginia,
Check
same
them out.
town
They
as
sound pretty good.
Enforced. Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
They killed it live.
Yeah, the bumper music tonight, Attacker, Bat, and Carcass.
Carcass.
CK, your intro music is by what band?
Craisix.
Fuck yeah. And the Murder Metal Mayhem intro, Joey, is by which band?
Low 12.
Hell yeah. And Mason, the 6 fucking 6 music is by who?
Onslaught.
Hell yeah. Thanks
Hell
to everybody
yeah.
out there listening. We keep seeing those numbers rolling in. We appreciate everyone for checking out the show. Chris, you got
No, I don't.
Okay. Joey, you want to read that first one?
Yeah, Ramon Santiago commented, I'm a new listener from New Jersey. Love this shit. The mix of serial killers and metal is awesome. I found your Son of Sam episode on iTunes, and I've been listening to as much of it as I can. That was a good episode.
Hell
Hope you
yeah.
dig the hope you dig Attacker, dude.
Hell yeah. CK, you got that next one?
Dion Rogers commented, my boyfriend and I heard your Columbine episode. It was great. I've been listening to the older ones once say, you guys crack me up. Keep up the awesome job. Glad we can make you laugh and it'll keep you entertained.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mason, you got one over there for us?
Mike Stanley commented, I've
Cool.
been listening for a year and I love this year, and this is the best kept secret out there. Love what you all do. I really enjoy listening to you guys at work, and I'm a listener in St. Louis.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks, Mike.
Don't keep us a fucking secret. Pass it along.
That's right.
definitely.
Joey,
That's
why
a
don't you
secret.
bring in
I
that
will.
last one, brother?
All right, and the last one, Elise Yancey88 commented, I'm in Vegas, and my coworkers and I love the podcast. We listen in the warehouse on the speaker system, so it's funny when you guys talk about certain things.
I could
Some
only
of the older
imagine.
people don't like it too much. Oh, well, fuck them.
Nice.
Fuck 'em.
Thanks, Elise. That's a nice comment. All right, thanks to all you guys out there for supporting what we do. Horns high to all you guys. Don't forget to check out murdermetalmayhem.com to listen to the past episodes. Mason, thanks for hanging out with
Yeah,
us
thank you,
tonight.
Mason.
And you saved
Yeah,
the day
awesome.
with the hotspot on your phone.
Fuck yeah.
Because out of the
Yeah.
3 phones in here, none were working. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I had
Hell yeah.
Clutch.
No,
Very
why don't you
cool.
come back again?
You get to see
Like, for real,
behind
why don't
the
you come
you
back
get to
again?
see behind the curtain. Was it done much differently than what you expected?
kind of, but
Yeah.
not really.
Okay.
We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Hanging out, drinking beer.
It's always
Sounds
fun
like
to have people come in and see how we do this and put it all together. So, very cool. Thanks for everyone. Go to murdermetalmayhem.com to listen to the past episodes. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you could check us out on pretty much any platform out there. We mentioned the 666 Club, Joey. It's a good one.
Join that. $3 a month. Worth
Right.
it. Big
Get it.
time.
Very
Right.
worth
Can't
it.
beat it.
Yeah,
Patreon.com/Murder Metal Mayhem, and I'll link to that in the episode description. And also creationofchaos.com if you want to pick up one of the books. You can get them on Amazon, but you don't get the cool poster and the bookmark. When you buy them from me, I send those out for free. And gave away a bunch of those Sunday at the event, so that was really cool. We can't let him go without hearing a karaoke song. I didn't have time to do one because of that event, but I busted one out from the past, little boy band, Desecration. So crank this one the fuck up. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
And the other in the grave.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, hey! Bye, 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 bye! Bye, 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 bye! Oh, oh, oh! I'm doing this tonight! You're probably gonna start a fight! I know this can't be right! Hey, baby, come on! I loved you endlessly, and you weren't there for me, so it's time to leave and make it alone. I know that I can't take no more, it ain't no lie. I wanna see you out that door, baby, bye, bye, bye. Don't wanna be a fool for you, just another player in your game for two. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie, baby, bye, bye, bye. Don't really wanna make it tough. I just wanna tell you that I had enough. Might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie, baby, bye, bye, bye. Ow, ow, ow. Just hit me with the truth now. Girl, you're more than welcome to. So give me one good reason, baby, come on. I live for you and me, and now I really come to see that life would be much better once you're gone. I know that I can't take no more, it ain't no fucking lie. I wanna see you out that door, baby, bye, bye, bye. Don't wanna be a fool for you, just another player in your game for two. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie, baby, bye, bye, bye. You really wanna make it tough, I just wanna tell you that I had enough. Might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie, baby, bye, bye, bye. I'm giving up, I know for sure. I don't wanna be the reason for your love no more. Bye bye. I'm checking out, I'm signing off. I don't wanna be the loser and I've had enough. I don't wanna be your fool in this game for two. So I'm leaving you behind. Bye bye. I don't wanna make it tough. Make it tough. I've had enough. And it I don't wanna be a fool. Just be a fool. Bye, 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 bye. I don't wanna make it tough, but I've had enough. Ain't no lie. Bye, 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 bye.
Mother, man.